like a storm in the night. We dig deep to find what's wrong and what's right. Specters of the past and futures untold, Mo and Bolt, we're breaking the mold. From the paranormal to the political scene, we dive into the unknown, if you know what I mean. Cryptocurrency madness, gaming world so vast, we're bringing you the future and echoes from the past. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Bolt are your guides, let's take a dive. In the crypto secrets we unravel the lore. Hold on tight, cause we've got so much more. So gather round in the crib tonight. Mo and Bolt will lead you to the light. From ghosts to politics, games and crypto too. These are the tales just for you. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Bolt are your guides, let's take a dive. In the crypto secrets we unravel the lore. Hold on tight, cause we've got so much more. So gather around in the crib tonight. Mo and Bolt will lead you to the light. From ghosts to politics, games and crypto too. These are the tales just for you.
Right, we are live, baby.
What's up, everybody? Are we live? Okay,
We are
can't see it
live.
on my screen.
Yes,
Happy
we are,
Tuesday.
sir.
It's time for this week's Tales from the Crypto with the big homie MoKnowz. What's up, Mo? How we doing this week?
What's going on, brother? It is hot. It is triple digits here in New York. I think it hit 104 today, some shit like that.
I can't believe New York's triple digit. I think you're invisible. You're on John Cena mode, unless I'm mistaken. It's
Oh
hard for me to
no, you're right.
But I mean,
I
if it's
was
105 there, I think we looked at the temperature yesterday. It was 98, but it said it feels like 106. So, I mean, I've been trying to stay indoors. My kid decided not to go to football today or yesterday because he said it was too hot. And I was like, I don't blame you.
You guys also have a different type of heat than we do.
Yeah.
Typically, New York isn't overly humid, but then when you get into like July, end of July, August, you can really get some humid days. However, it's fucking. I felt like spring was late, summer's late, but now it's just like instantly fucking smoking hot, scorching.
It's getting ridiculous. I went outside for like 15 minutes and I was dying. So I know you were down working outside all day. That's got to be rough.
Yeah, my boy has a power wash, soft wash business, so I give him a hand sometimes when he needs somebody to hold the ladder or do some useless work, because I'm definitely not what you would call a workhorse. I'm not like a fucking work mule or anything.
Right.
Especially when I got spoiled with PFL and crypto, and I was like, oh, I could not even leave the house and make so much money. However, in the current state of affairs of crypto and digital assets, I have to go back to work. So, I thought I retired for the rest of my life. Spoiler,
Hey,
not so
if
fast.
Stuff would have kept on pumping. Maybe that was possible. Or if we would have bought the right stuff at the right time. I always feel like, man, if I could have gone back to the beginning of when I got into VeVe and just bought Todd, put all my money into Todd, I would be rich right now. Sell them all at like 13K, I think was the floor at one point. Shoulda,
I
coulda,
wish. I wish I got in on the old days when things were sitting on the fucking, the market or sitting on the store for so long, and I could just go in and get me a Todd. Like I just go in and bing, bing, bing. Like I said, by the time I got in was the golden moments, the original push with the Disney statue, and I even said to my girl at the time, I'm like, well, I'm gonna try to get one. I didn't get one, but I wasn't gonna buy it for the price that the partner statues were going for. But I easily would have taken every penny I had. I would have maxed out my credit cards. I would have gotten all the Todds, and I would have gotten all the fucking, the Waltz I could have gotten, the partner statues. But hindsight's 2020. Even though 2020 was the worst fucking year ever. So I hate even saying hindsight's 2020 now. I'm like, ooh, I don't even want to think about that year.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
we got a
man.
good show for you guys this week. We got some paranormal topic to talk about that not a lot of people have heard about yet. We got to talk about sports. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little heartbreaking for me. We're going to talk politics, Israel, Iran, I think is what people are saying. You're supposed to pronounce it Iran, not Iran. And then
I always thought it
crypto.
was Iran from like the Weird Al days, but yeah, apparently it's Iran.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They get mad if you call it Iran or Iran now. Shout out to everybody's in the chat. Rob T was first in the chat talking about that Funko drop. Me and Mo were going to stream it this morning, or not this morning, but like this afternoon. I think it was around 1 or 2. We talked about it last week, but Mo got stuck at work and I was a little busy too. So I didn't even go for it yet. But Rob says it's not sold out yet. So I might have to check that out. We got till 6 p.m. to get that one. Shout out to Ali Hydros in the chat. The big homie C Spill is here. The biggest bro. Let's go. Talking about La Boo Boos. I still don't know exactly what a Labubu is. Somebody tried to tell me in my Discord today because I asked what a Labubu is. I'm gonna go look at them. I'll pull it up on screen. Maybe y'all can explain. Maybe Mo knows about it. And shout out to Grandma Moore's in the chat. Thank you for being a member of the channel. She says she's gonna go do grandma things. What do grandmas do at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard? I don't know. She could be somewhere else. Maybe it's only 2 p.m. there. Rob T says I'll keep you posted. Yeah, all right. It's another hour, actually 54 minutes before the Funko drop ends, and it's not sold out yet if you want to grab them. They're $29.99, $30. 3x on those blind boxes. What is he talking about? Oh, the Labubus. All right, let me pull that up real quick.
Oh yeah, I can pull up Labubu. I forgot I control the screen. You know
what Labubus are?
So the only reason why I know what they are is one of the dudes I used to do some work for. His girl is like crazy into collecting them, and apparently like they were raiding stores when I tuned into a stream one day, and they were like raiding stores trying to fucking buy out all the Labubus they can find. And yeah, apparently it's like some little it's like to where like they almost kind of look like the little Russian nesting doll, like little cute things.
I got them pulled up on my screen. I really do not see the appeal here. What? This is what you're going for? Are they like blind box to where you can get like a secret rare or something? Probably not. I don't know, man. What are they selling for? What are they reselling for? It's interesting here, the tweet that I have pulled up too, because it's the OG VeVe user straight. And he says, shout out to the VeVe Discord family. They have a drop strategies. So I'm wondering if they're using like the old clock gate method or something to get these drops, because apparently they have some type of strategy that's helping them get all these. Looks like he got 3, 4, 5 of them. I don't know. I don't know much about it, man. Let me know. Give me the alpha.
So apparently the reason why these are so hot, and it has to do, I guess, ties in with NFTs and crypto. Social media influence and the blind box craze, right? So everybody, oh, the blind box, you could get something worth a couple $1,000s, but you're probably gonna get something that's worth absolutely garbage, right? So that's kind of the risk you take. But apparently, Blackpink, which everybody in VeVe probably loves Blackpink. I know a lot of people I know bopping that shit in the car. They talked about the Labubus.
Oh, really?
So apparently, just social media buzz, and then people were kind of locked into the blind box.
That's big. If they got Blackpink, they've got millions and millions and millions of followers and fans. So if they're doing cross collaborations like that, and some people are saying maybe VeVe will get some digital Labubu collectibles. So I don't know. Maybe I need to learn more about it. Maybe I'll watch a YouTube video to find out what the craze is. Maybe I can go out hunting. Will you get them at Walmart or something? Is it like buying baseball card packs?
I don't know, actually. Yeah, apparently it was a stampede at a Glendale Target.
Oh, really?
Oh wait, no, that might have been new Stanley Cup. Oh yeah, over new Stanley Cup colors. So apparently, people are making Stanley Cup colored Labubus, and they're going fucking crazy for them at Target. So,
interesting.
Like I said, I'm not really well versed in this, but I'm curious why. Why is it that Blackpink can mention Labubus and they fucking take over the world, and they do a fucking drop on VeVe and nobody cares?
That's a good question.
Makes you wonder, right? Really?
Right.
Are we just early? Are we just too fucking early?
They just mentioned the NFT or the blockchain one time, and it scares everybody away. Right now, that just has such a horrible reputation in mainstream media. People hear it, and they are turned off by it. So apparently,
that's what I said last week. I said with Sesame Street, it was a prime opportunity for them to take Sesame Street and do what Sesame Street does and educate people. And they could have very easily been like, let's learn about NFTs. And then you have fucking, what's his name, Snuffy? Hi, Bert. I need some NFTs, Bert. And he comes out and they learn about NFTs and they spell it and then the fucking count comes out. How many times must I rob your money? One,
I don't even know
two.
if that's still a show. Didn't Trump cancel PBS and all that?
I think Sesame Street's still around, if I'm not
Uh,
mistaken. I know they were doing some Iraqi version. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still a thing. I think Elmo and them are fucking flying around. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, it must be, or they wouldn't be still dropping NFTs on VeVe because they just dropped the count
Oh, good
last
point.
weekend. I tweeted about it too. There were two versions of the count: the common
Saw
and the
that.
secret rare, and they were exactly the same except for they changed one little thing from silver to gold. I was like, bro, y'all got to do better than that. That's pretty weak. But all right, let me.
So
catch up
I
with the chat.
understand. I understand what you're saying. I don't know, let's catch up with chat, but at the same time, I mean, if you're making something that's just bringing up your tweet here, if you're making something that's like a gold version, I mean, yeah, what they probably could have done was made like the fucking cape have some gold on it, or
It actually does on the interior. They changed a little bit of the collar on the interior of the cape too.
Oh, really?
I'm not trying to give them too much credit here. Give them a different pose or something.
What the hell am I looking at?
You see how there's
Oh,
like,
okay, yeah, I see it. Wow, that's really fucking big, huh? It's
yeah,
got like
pointed
gold
out.
hooks on it instead of regular hooks.
That's-
Yeah, but they are little hooks where you can. Remember those guys back in the day where they open up their coat? Hey, I got what you need.
Well, I've seen them on TV. I never met one in real life. Maybe I have. I don't know. Kids in high school used to do that too. All right, let me catch up with the chat. Apparently, grandma stuff is going to the demolition derby.
Oh,
Rob
shit.
Cheese says New York City got the fake La Poo Poo blind boxes. Oh, really? So now they got fake La Boo Boos now, La Poo Poos. They do
I
not.
believe it. The poo-poos.
They do have blind boxes, yeah, and they do drops at like 7 p.m. at night once a week. So you get it online. So it's like, okay. So that's why they say they have some drop strategies. I'm about to clock gate these drops. C-Spill says, anyone in the chat go for the VV drop today? Actually, believe it or not, C-Spill, I did go for the drop today. Shout out to Woody's in the chat. What's up, Woody? I saw people in my Discord talking about going for it. And I think Denny OC or Dane K was going for it. I have to go look. And I felt like maybe I'll buy one. Why not? I haven't bought one in a while, and I got a bunch of gems sitting there, so I bought two of them. It was Amazing Spider-Man number 5, I think. It was Dan K that was buying them. And I went ahead and got two blind boxes. First one was common, but the mint number was 1970. I wasn't sure if that was a special mint number. I put it up for like 10 gems to get my money back, and Dan K himself bought it. And I was like, did I sell it too little? It was like, nah, I just saw it was from you and bought it. So shout out to Dan K. Appreciate you, bro. And then the other one I got was actually an ultra rare. And they were going for 20 was the floor price on those. So I went ahead and listed it at the floor price. I don't know if it sold or not. I'm assuming it probably did. There's not very many editions of those, but it did not sell out. So I could be wrong. So, I mean, believe it or not, I did go for today's drop. Mo, when's the last time you went for a VV drop?
I mean, I logged into my account. It was last week when we were bringing shit up. I haven't gone for a drop in. Oh boy. Maybe the Epico?
What was it?
The Epico thing where they had like the blue
Yu.
metal David Yu one. I'm like, oh well, some retard will fucking love David Yu and buy that.
Yeah.
I'd absolutely sell that. I'm not hanging on to it like fucking Stan Lee.
Probably my favorite drop of all time. C-Spill got an uncommon on today's drop, so that is a good comic too. Amazing Spider-Man number 5 is an old comic. Bob T says originally the blind boxes I think feel like hints, but it's so betoted. You can't really use the hints. Sesame Street moving
So
to Netflix
botted?
this year. Oh, okay. Oh, botted. Gotcha. Duh, I should know that. Shout out to Woody's in the chat.
Betoted, y'all. Betoted.
Sesame Street is staying alive. It's going to Netflix. Smart move by Netflix. Biggest Bro says people are getting their Labubu's tattooed by real tattoo artists. Man, y'all are going crazy. I gotta
That's
understand
crazy.
what the crave is. I mean, come on, why? Stan says, does VeVe have a Web3 expert with all of their IP? Shouldn't they be more cutting edge? DeFi NFTs, full animation AI. They're dropping staff and getting rid of their main IT guys. Can't even remember all the people that they've gotten rid of, but those are the people that would have been doing those type of things. So I don't feel like that's something that they're trying to do proactively. They just want to sell drops. I could be
What they
wrong.
need to
though.
do, and we could talk about it more during VeVe, what I think they need to do is they need to stop hiring Web3 guys trying to infiltrate Web2, but they need to hire somebody that's a Web2, you know, like an actual artist, animator that's well known and respected in the real world that also appreciates NFTs and, again, can show people the value and how NFTs and digital collectibles could work. And I just told my homie again today. I don't know if he's still watching, but you know, he was like, "Oh, I should probably pick up like PS1 games and things like that." Because we were talking about we used to get like old sealed Nintendo games at garage sales, and the place I used to work, the lady was like, "Hey, clean out my closet." So we cleaned out her closet. I'm like, "Hey, you got a whole box of Nintendo games here." She's like, "Oh, you want them? Take them, dude." They were sealed Mad Max, like 5 or 6 sealed games, and we didn't grade them. But we sold them on eBay for a couple $100 a clip. I had a Kickle Cubicle was the game. It was a white box from Tyco, I think. Tyco, what the name company is.
Nice.
Stupid little like puzzle game back in the day.
Yeah.
Probably we sold it for like $500-600.
Sheesh.
Sealed Nintendo games. This is back in like 2007, 2008.
Yeah, they even go for more now. People are big on collecting those because they're buying them ungraded and sending them off to get graded and then selling them for more once they get the grade.
Right, but look what happens now, right? You have these kids and they're like, "Oh yeah, my parents passed away or inherited their stuff, and what'd you do with it?" "I just chucked it to the curb. I'm not lugging that shit around. I don't want to be bothered with it. I don't want to pack it. I don't want to store it." Or they do
yard sales and sell everything for $1.
Yeah, and that's where, people like us can, make bank if we decide to do it. But
100%.
I just feel like this generation that's growing up now is definitely not going to want to be lugging shit around, especially if people can't afford housing to be living in little fucking shoebox fucking apartments. Like,
true.
Yeah. Digital collectibles, NFT. That's why I'm like, yo, buy all the digital Caitlin Clark fucking NFTs, low mint numbers, fucking good cards. Because again, I'm not saying nobody's going to collect physical cards. I think they will because they'll always make them. But they're not going to be as sought after as some of the digital stuff, especially if these companies, VeVe, can start partnering up with the right people and be like, hey, get this Caitlin Clark or Michael Jordan card and use it in NBA 2K. Now it becomes like an actual player, what's it called? My Team or whatever in NBA 2K. Like now it becomes an actual fucking My Team player card and you can just sell it on the open market. And it's so simple. It's utility. It's fucking simple utility that's why I say you get somebody from like NBA 2K that just happens to like NFTs and think it's the future. They're going to be kicking open doors trying to make it happen as opposed to someone in Web 3 that's got to reach out to the Web 2 guys like NBA 2K and all the gaming companies like, hey, want to put NFTs in your game? No, they're not. We talk about it all the time, the Trojan horse, right? Like it's so fucking obvious at this point. But I know I'm doing a VeVe rant and NFTs rant. We're not even in that section. We haven't gone through paranormal yet. But
we haven't got even started yet. I got to shout out all the homies in the chat. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us. It's our Tuesday show. We do every Tuesday at 5 p.m. C-Spill's trying to figure out what's up with Labubu's. I need to figure that out too. I'm going to watch a video about it, so I can't give you the alpha on that just yet. Biggest Bro says, I want you guys to look at Jubilee. Are you talking about the Marvel character Jubilee? Are you talking about the Jubilee YouTube show where there's like one conservative versus 20?
I love those fucking Jubilee shows.
Those are good.
I like the dating ones more, but
those are good too. Shout out to Abdullah's in the chat. Good to see you, my man. We're getting ready to get started. Viper Active's here as well, trying to get educated. I'll do the educating, my friend, and then we'll do the misinforming, getting all of the right-wing information for you. I'm just kidding. Rob T says, nice score mode.
I feel like I show up to play defense every week. It's pretty much what I do.
It's fun. In the chat. Smart Buy. I haven't seen Smart Buy in the chat in a while. Good to see you, my man. What he says, all they want is the phone. Yeah, my kid's on his phone all the time, or on his computer, or now VR.
And Voxton in the building. Everybody's fucking showing up. Man, it's a beautiful Tuesday.
Voxton. Tuesdays is good. Nobody has anything else to do. It's just Tuesday, so now they can come and hang out with us. C-Spill's says, I need some CC cards or NFTs. Some credit cards?
Some credit card NFTs? That'd be kind of interesting.
Buy some NFTs.
Like, hey, when I buy this NFT, it's only got $14,000 worth of debt attached to it.
Yikes.
You can,
our paranormal topic for this week. Shout out to Ronnie Lidos here as well. Yeah, all the OGs are hanging out with us today. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We're just getting started with our first topic of the day, which, as always, is the paranormal topic. And this one you might not have heard much about because this is brand new. It just happened. It's called
the ASCAP J1832-0911. My least favorite numbers.
They're going to give it a better name as it gets, I don't know, as it gets more attention, because it seems really interesting if people don't disprove it and it is what it says it is, because what's throwing people off and what all the scientists are freaking out about is that is it a star? I guess it's a star, right? A mysterious object. It's not even necessarily a star. It's just called an object.
We don't know.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
fires a strange signal at Earth every 44 minutes. It's a pulse of radio waves and X-rays. And they can't figure out why. Every 44 minutes, it's way, way out there too. And it's pointed directly at Earth. And every 44 minutes, it sends a pulse of radio wave and X-rays. What the heck is that, Mo?
So a few weeks ago, we talked about what you watch, and I was catching up on Lost. I was doing my whole big watch through again. On the show, I won't do any spoilers for people that still might want to watch it, but it's been 20 years. You should probably watch it by now. There was a radio signal that just played on a loop, and it would loop and it would play for 4 minutes, and then it would have a break, and it would put like an extra number at the end, and that's how you knew how many cycles it had gone through. But yeah, what if this is some sort of transmission? What if this is something
about the
that,
wow signal?
in what?
Do you know what the wow signal is? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I was talking about what happened in Lost. There was like a radio
Oh,
signal
Lost.
from someone who was
Gotcha.
stranded, and she just had it playing for like 15 years straight. And they were trying to get off the island, and they happened to hear it, and they were like, "Oh, well, it's just a recording, and it's on a loop." And then you got the guy Saeed, and he's like, "Oh, I've done this before in telecommunications. It's on loop. It's a timing. It's a pattern. It's just." You start to just put the pieces together. And you're like, "Oh, what if that's some sort of message?
Right. Well,
Why
I
would
mean,
Why would it
what
be
this
so
could be, yeah.
consistent? Like, why would it be so consistent?" But here's the funny part about it. I don't know if you dove too far into it. I started watching some other videos and shit on it, but what's cool about this, and it kind of blows my mind that this has never happened before, but the reason why they found it was because this is it's called like a LPT. It's a long period transient signal. It's like a class of rare and extreme astrophysical events that sweep out beams of radio waves like cosmic lighthouses. But the crazy part is they wouldn't have seen it. They just so happen to have two different telescopes going out, and cameras watching the same area, which they've never done before. And it kind of blows my mind that if you had like two sorts of technology, you wouldn't just combine them and say, "Hey, let's do two scans at once,"
Right.
instead of like having two separate cameras. But anyway, they have two separate cameras, and these astronomers apparently saw the event, the emission you're talking about. And then they noticed that, whoa, we have the X-ray camera right next door looking in the same direction. Let's just peep that at the same time and try to figure it out. That's never happened before. They've never had the two cameras pointing in the same fucking direction to discover an anomaly like this. And again, but you can't believe we're alone. I mean, there's no shot that we're alone. The way that the Earth is made, the way that the galaxy is made, the way that the universe is fucking made, there's really just no chance in hell that we're alone.
I agree 100%. And it'd be really spooky to think that maybe some civilization or some beings are sitting there listening or watching us, trying to communicate with us this whole time. But what's crazy is, like you just described, they only looked at this in this one little tiny spot. Imagine they scanned like this whole entire area. How many different other objects are sending us signals every 40 minutes or every 15 minutes? If they only looked at this one little spot, maybe this isn't like super rare. Maybe they're all around us. I don't know. It's kind of spooky.
I mean, I would think if they were that common, even in the same area, they might be like, "Oh, well, there's two more off to the distance," or something like that. But it doesn't seem like they're coming across that many, or if any other ones at this point. But it says, yeah, this
Even if
dual
there are two or
pattern.
three, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I just said something about this dual pattern recognition is like unprecedented in the astronomy world. So again, breaking news, chat. Like, this is what we do, man. We talk about hidden voids in the pyramids. We talk about underground structures. We talk about all sorts of crazy shit. And I'm telling you, man, if you really think we're alone, I want to know what else you guys think. Because the older I get, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to read the Bible, because I swear the more you take God out of the Bible and substitute some sort of extraterrestrial or some other sort of like civilization that came down or helped us, makes way more sense than some dude that was like, okay, Adam and Eve, boom, go. Makes way more sense coming if you go back, because the Older Testament and the Book of Enoch and stuff like that, that went into things where it talked about things where it's spaceships firing down from the ground and fiery fucking dragons and Jacob's ladder that apparently, was coming down. Like, it all sounded kind of like a fucking spaceship that was dropping some sort of like way to maneuver up and down the fucking spaceship. So to me, and I'm not trying to be against religion, but I am a religious person to a certain extent, I really do believe if you take the two and you combine them together, it doesn't mean that, Jesus didn't exist. Because again, that's all documented, and, the whole, right, they got kicked out of Egypt. I'm saying, but there is documentation. There's plenty of it where they talk about the voyage across the desert, and they got stuck out there for 40 days before they can enter, right, the new kingdom. And, like, they all got kicked out of Egypt. So when you go back to Egyptian fucking texts and hieroglyphs and stuff like that they discover, it does kind of talk about it. And when you look at Plato and things he talks about, wasn't firsthand, but Plato talks about it extensively, about people he knew and family members and stuff like that told stories. And we talked about it when we talked about Atlantis,
Yeah, it hits me to know that first civilization that really started writing stuff down, started writing stories. The first thing they ever wrote about is the Anunnaki, which is like an alien race that came down. So, I mean, if you're going to write something for the first time ever, you're not going to write a story that you made up. I mean, you're going to write something that you truly believe is true and happening. You're trying to let the future of your people know about this. So that's pretty good evidence, in my opinion. Not great.
Well, because you're right. But the one thing you have to remember is back then, it wasn't like, oh, I have a stack of fucking white paper here. I'm just going to draw a doodle and I'm going to throw it away. Like, they seriously only talk about this and other carvings and, scriptures and stuff. Like, they only really drew what they saw and what they knew. They weren't going around fucking making up like fucking fairy tales and shit back then, because they didn't have the resources to fucking go and like produce, documents and stuff. It was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna make up a story. Great, now tell that story, take 6 months and fucking chisel it on the wall. You know what I mean? It's a lot different. It's not like going to AI and being like, hey, write me a fucking crazy fairy tale. Like, the Anunnaki came down. And you got to remember, too, they actually just discovered these. We got to talk about it maybe next week. But they're discovering whole other, like, life form or civilization of people that are very small and have elongated heads that, again, kind of resemble what they described as the Anunnaki. So, you got to put the pieces together. But everybody else will tell you that's like, oh, well, I'm a... especially when you watch like the Dr. Zawi guy and these other fucking gatekeepers, man. It's like, It's not in my book. I didn't discover it. Didn't fucking happen. No shot, dude. There's no shot that every fucking archaeological road runs through this fucking guy. No shot.
Let me know.
We're gonna find out.
Think about ASCAP. And yes, Woody, I did call it ASCAP. I guess you call it SA.
I've been calling it ASCAP all week. I'm fucking loving it.
Let me know what you guys think about ASCAP. Not in general, but this particular ASCAP. Smartbot says people call it Tuesday in UK. Yeah, British changed the name of everything. People in Germany call Germany Deutschland. Nobody calls it Deutschland. Britain just pretty much changed their whole name. In Japan, they don't call it Japan. They call it Nippon. Britain just took over the world. It's like, no, we're calling you this. They're called Tuesday. Tony's in the house. Good to see you, my man. Thanks for hanging out with us. He's driving.
Tony in the building.
Said he was talking about Jubilee on VeVe. I thought Jubilee had already dropped on VeVe as a Marvel Mighty a while back, but I could be wrong. Maybe they have another drop coming. Juanelito says, what about the signals under Antarctica, too? I just saw some new stuff about Antarctica.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what it was. They just showed a signal, but not from what? It's not the first signal we've detected, though. Yeah, Antarctica, we've talked about that before. It's got a lot of mysterious stuff going on over there. And
yeah, I mean, the guy with the plane that went down, right, where they fucking brought it down because all the instruments and shit were freaking out. Like, you could never get proper readings. There's a hole in the ground.
Yep.
There's
the
something.
Admiral Byrd expedition from the past.
Yeah, Admiral Byrd. Yep, that one. So I'm saying, man, like, it's crazy.
He says he doesn't remember how Lost ended. Was it a time loop? I don't want no spoilers. I don't expect to go back and watching it, though. But then again, I might one day, and there might be.
I just feel bad if there's anybody in chat that's like, I heard Lost was a good show, and then they happen to start binging it one day. I just don't want to ruin it. It really is a fantastic show. Everybody should watch it.
I stopped at the end of season 2 around then. Ronnie Lotto says, just a current unknown one. They got to hype science and discoveries when they can. Lost ended in purgatory. Oh, no, there you go. There's the spoiler. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even necessarily know exactly what purgatory is. Rob T says, good call. Mo with the Lost reference. Josh Holiday Sawyer wants to do a new Lost to explain the ending. I mean, they should do a movie. They were going to do like a Heroes movie and wrap that up too, but they never did.
It's actually interesting you said that, because I've been meaning to. Every time I get done with a show, especially an older show, I like to go back. First, I get to give myself a day or two to decompress, but then I like to go back and watch like cast interviews or like when they do like reunions and they get back together. Yeah. I like to sometimes see like sometimes like they're really cool, they hang out all the time, and other times they're like, nope, fuck these people, I don't want to deal with them.
especially
That's
on
like
the
what happened
reality shows.
with
I like seeing
Screech.
those reunions.
Yeah, like with the Screech thing, how they everyone always said like, oh, they hated Screech and this, that, and the other on Saved by the Bell. But apparently, it's just because he was really young. Like he was so much younger than like Mark Paul Gosselaar and them. Like it just didn't make sense for them to hang out with a young kid like that. But he always took that the wrong way. Apparently, this is what they said when they got older. They were like, you just don't. And it is true. I mean, nowadays people might think it's fucking normal, but I don't. If you ever saw an older dude hanging out, or even like a middle-aged teen hanging out with a young kid, you're just kind of like, the fuck is
I
going on with
expect their
that?
brothers or something. Yeah, take your
If
brother
they're
with
brothers,
you.
yeah, obviously. Or if it's like a friend of the family, you might not think
Right.
anything weird, but I don't know, man. Like, it's just, you didn't really see that shit when we were growing up.
Woody says, remember that movie Contact and the designs embedded in the signal? And yes, Woody, that's what they talk about too on Contact is the wow signal, because the wow signal is something that actually happened in the, I want to say 1980s, where there was some astronomer who heard this crazy repeating sound that was being aimed at Earth, and it sounded like some type of transmission. It wasn't natural. And they tried to get another person on the other side of the world to confirm it, and it only lasted for like 5 minutes, and then it disappeared and never came back. It's called the wow signal. And then in Contact, they use that signal and he even writes wow on it as a reference to that. And that's what ends up having the designs embedded into the signal for them to, if you haven't watched Contact, I won't give it all away. It's a good movie. Boxer says the technology to build an actual Tower of Babel would have been too advanced for civilization at that time without alien influence, of which God would have scattered to their respective homes to the Tower of Babel. I've heard of it, but I don't know exactly what it is. I feel like the pyramids are and the Sphinx itself are almost impossible to build for people at those times. Boxer says could be interpreted as aliens are the angels from the Bible too. Yeah, I've heard that. Yep, Ronnie Lato's heard it too. Boxer says sent back to their planet when the Tower of Babel was destroyed by God. I don't know all this Tower of Babel stuff. Hence, the abundance of alien influence from so long ago could have been pre-Tower of Babel. But I think humans were way smarter than we give credit for. The will of Ezekiel is another good point. That's from the Bible. It sounds like something that would be some type of UFO. Boxer says smarter, sure, but able to build a tower that tall still isn't technically possible with modern technology. Mo, do you know about the Tower of Babel?
Not that much, but I do know that, yeah, it's, again, it's like another pyramid type thing where you look at some of these structures, you're like, how the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
I think aliens
it's
built
just,
the Leaning Tower of Pisa because that don't make no sense to me. How's it still up? It's leaning. What he says,
that one
how
does
does
make
the
sense though, because it would be like, oh, we're humans, we're imperfect fucking creatures, and we build imperfect fucking, structures. Like, that I would actually buy. Or if you look at the pyramids around the fucking Great Pyramids, right? Like, they're all fucked up looking. They don't look anything like the fucking Great Pyramids. So,
seems like they were trying to copy it and just couldn't do it?
yeah, it was like, baby's first fucking pyramid, and they're like, oh, let's put them all down at the fucking thing, and that's where everyone's finding dead bodies, and that's where everyone's buried at the pits, right? Like, but they come in like these weird, busted-ass fucking pyramids. They're not, again, that's why we still have yet to find an actual fucking mummy or a corpse in supposedly the tombs, right? So,
Yep. What he says, how does the Bible never mention the pyramids? Does it never mention the pyramids? That's kind of weird too, because it's kind of all in the same region. I mean, it's a little kind of far away. I mean, you gotta think they don't have cars or anything. So, but it is true. You would think that was something that people in the area would be talking about all the time. Ronnie Lito says it's possible it's just omitted from the modern day Bible. Oh, it just got translated out. That's also possible.
well,
Because
that's
Tony said
true. It's true. That's why the Old Testament, the New Testament, and that's why I want to go back to the Old Testament and specifically the Book of Enoch, because the Book of Enoch is the stuff that people would dispute. Because if they don't dispute it, then they basically say, okay, well then there's some sort of other life form or other being. And again, we showed them on all the paintings from back in the day where you have people in fucking astronaut fucking like spacesuits and they're riding in fucking spaceships. And these are old school fucking biblical time fucking paintings. And then you talk about even the Immaculate Reception, the Immaculate Inception of the football. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the hell does that happen? Well, if you were, impregnated by some sort of alien tech where they just look at you and, impregnate you, then bam, there you go.
Probed. Maybe she got probed. Kryptoni says,
Yeah, we're
everybody
abducted. Yeah, exactly.
they changed it from evolvables. Oh, that's probably a good thing then. So apparently the Jubilee drop wasn't evolvable, and they decided not to make it evolvable anymore. I don't like the evolvable drop, so that's probably a good thing in my opinion. Ronnie Lido says they don't even have the entire Bible translated yet. How so? Rob T says Sawyer
Probably
is still
true.
alive and lost. Sequel incoming. Apparently a movie. Voxen says the Tower of Babel was a tower that all of mankind united to build. It was intended to reach heaven so that man would not have to follow God's laws to get to heaven. Oh, they're cheating God. Is this thing still around? Sounds like they were just building a rocket. When man got too close, God destroyed the Tower of Babel and cast men to every corner of the earth, giving them different cultures and languages so they could never unite against him again. All right,
Now,
man.
that's okay. So here's the thing. That's the biblical reference, right?
All right.
Now, let's take that and let's translate that into crazy talk for a minute that I love, which is the conspiracies and aliens and all that shit, right?
Okay.
What do we know about every ancient civilization that we've learned about? They all had a very, very similar origin story. Where it's like some guy showed up on flying serpents or a river serpent or some sort of serpent, and it was a feathery guy. And it was, in China and India, you had different things, right? You had the different, how do they call it? The Vimanas? I have a horse named Vimana.
That's more India and Vimana.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but all these different cultures have these similar origin stories of like a singular being showing up, showing them everything they know about the way of life, how to build, how to live, and then they disappear and they all say they're coming back, and they never do.
Yeah.
So if you were to tell me that God were to take people or all the people that are trying to rebel and throw them in different parts of the fucking world, well then that might be why you get a similar origin story that shows up at your fucking back door. I'm just saying that's how my crazy brain's translating, because I grew up going to church. I grew up, making communion and confirmation and all that stuff, and as much as I respect religion, I never really, I don't say believed it, because I'm like, oh, some dude walked on water. No, everybody was probably drunk and he walked through a puddle, and they were like, oh my god, he walked on water. So again, some of these stories I'm like, let's just dial it back. But if you start going down aliens and fucking shit like that, to me it just makes way more sense when you plug it in.
And people are starting to do that more often now too, and it's starting to, like you said, make more sense. What he says, I've been to Pisa is how you say it. They use airbags now underground to keep it up. That's cheating. Okay, I thought it was just leaning naturally. Anyone else like Altered Carbon on Netflix? I've got a Netflix TV
Altered
show
Carbon, good show
that I watched. Have you seen Altered Carbon?
I have, yes.
I don't know nothing about that one. Kryptoni says he just
Not
left
gonna spoil
Egypt.
it, but you should probably definitely watch it. It's a phenomenal show. I also recommend Upload. Upload is like a mind fuck. It was written by the guy. What's his name? Dan Harmon. I want to say
That's the guy
that did
Rick
The
and Morty.
Office. No, maybe I got the wrong guy then. I'm pretty sure it was done by the same guy that did The Office and some other shows.
Shout out to
I think.
Kryptoni just left Egypt. Did you go to any pyramids, bro? I would love to go to Egypt. Although I hear it's like the worst place to go if you're a tourist. Like they treat you like crap and they overcharge you for everything. I've seen a couple videos of people in there. Franco Mo Harris. I know Franco Harris. Fox says, which nothing in the Bible mentions other life not being out there. God could be chilling on another planet for all we know. Like no matter how you look at God, he is an alien. It's a being that doesn't live on this planet. No matter how you look at it, he's an
True.
alien. Vox says on the first day he created the heavens and the earth. Ronnie Lotto says most stories seem to be typically after the last great floods, after civilization lost all their history and started over again. I was going to mention that too. All civilizations have that same flood story too.
Yeah.
Vox says God is apparently in heaven, and in the context of the opening of the Bible, the rest of the universe outside of Earth is labeled as the heavens. Oh, okay, so the moon's in heaven. Kryptoni says God said, "Let's make man in our image." Who was he talking to? God
True.
said, let's make man.
That's why I want to dive into it, bro. We should do it.
Oh.
Nah, man, start like a Bible channel or something. Start doing Bible readings and people can explain it to me.
Is that an exact translation, Kryptoni? Because if so, that's interesting. I mean, the translations have changed so much that I don't necessarily, but if he did say R, who is he talking to? Ronnie Lotto says, just maybe the ninth planet they just confirmed. What? They confirmed a ninth planet? Was it Nibiru or something? I've heard of that it's supposed to be the 10th planet, but then they downgraded poor Pluto. Boxon says there is so much to be read between the lines in the Bible. It's like a car manual. If you don't know how what you are reading works, you won't get anything out of it. I'll pass. Rob T says, going to check it out. Thanks, Mo. Dan Harmon is Community and like Rick and Morty. Yeah, I think Dan Harmon does Rick and Morty.
Yeah, that was just the first name that popped into my head. The problem is I watch a lot of shit. I smoke a lot of weed, and sometimes it just blurs the fucking lines. But the thing is, I don't necessarily lie on purpose. But I will say, like, oh, this is just Mo guesses. Like, I don't always know. You know, there is a Mo guesses moment. Oh, and I control the visuals. I should actually have my Mo guesses pop up. But
That sounds good, like a good
you know what I'm
idea.
saying? No, it's just like I don't know, man. To me, if you just really start diving into it, again, I'm bringing it back to the pulses that we're seeing. I mean, dude, there has to be something. I just hope it's in our lifetime. I really hope it's in our lifetime where they come through some sort of fucking breakthrough and they're like, oh, aliens showed up in Washington today. I'm like, yes. Because as soon as that happens, everything else is possible. Everything else is possible.
At this point, everyone's gonna think it's AI if it actually does happen. They won't believe it. Everything's a conspiracy now these days, anyway.
But AI might have been the way of the world before we even knew it. Think about, I'll go one more biblical reference. Think about Noah's Ark. Think about taking two of every animal and bringing it on a fucking boat, okay? No, not going to happen. But what could happen is you could bring these two fucking animals, male and female, into the boat, slaughter them, take their DNA, fucking cryo chamber that shit like some Jurassic Park fucking thing where they, you know, fill in the fucking blanks. And there you go. Now it's a boat full of almost just like fucking DNA fucking vials, right? Or chips. And they could just replicate them from there. Because that would make more sense. How would you fit two of every animal into this fucking boat? It would make way more sense if it's some sort of AI or some sort of uploaded, you know, data, like you're playing Ark or something.
It was all up on one USB thumbnail, maybe. Kryptoni says he loved Egypt. Everything was cheap. That's probably a good part of it.
Is
Yeah.
Pluto back?
I don't know. They say Pluto is a planet and that it's not a planet. Maybe it's a planet again. I don't know. Kryptoni apparently read the entire Bible. Dang.
I mean, I've read it. I don't know what the hell. Probably the wrong choice of words. I don't know what the heck I read back then. You know what I mean? I was clowning around. I was always a class clown. Like, I paid attention, but then I was like, okay, I got the moral value of the story. Let me just fucking jerk around now and cause trouble. You know, I just get kicked out of fucking religion class all the time. So bad. So bad. But again, I still believe that there's a lot to religion. And actually, I was actually reading into this. There's a lot of studies that show people that are religious and buy into it, they live so much longer. Kind of crazy.
They live longer?
Yeah, they live way longer. And it might be because they have something to kind of latch onto, where it's like people that are always kind of struggling to figure out why things work the way they work, like they just taking days off your life every time. But anyway, that was some studies I went through, so I thought it was interesting.
Tom wants to know why we're not on VeVe anymore. I went for 2 drops today, Tom. Actually, we were talking about it earlier. Got an ultra rare. Boxy says, but if you really read between the lines and understand the context of all of it, it makes so much sense when it comes to mysteries of the universe. I've read it over cover to cover a few times in life. I hate how it's used as a tool for wrong. Where's the mute? Faith is a real thing. Kryptoni says, I studied every book. I was a minister at age 16. So, Kryptoni, which one's right and which one's right? Only one of them can be right. I don't think any more than one biblical text or more than one religious text can be right. They all contradict each other. They contradict themselves. Rob T says 5,742 out of the 22,000 premium packs are left. So they've already sold over 16,000. Okay. It says right there, 16,000 standard packs, 5 card. Man, that's a lot of packs. Remain 15 minutes before, and this is the Funko drop, y'all. Rob T, I was trying to find the website. I went to funko.gg a second ago, and that looks like some project that some 14-year-old made up himself. So I don't think that's the right page. So let me know. Is it the drop page? Drop with 3 P's? Tom says, who cares? Let's talk about VeVe. VeVe we'll talk about in our crypto section, but next we got to talk about, unfortunately, sports. Anybody watching any basketball this week? The NBA finals going on. Man, so my Indiana Pacers were in the NBA finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Took it all the way to a game 7. Their star player, Tyrese Halliburton, started off the game, hit 3 3-pointers, was looking good. First quarter, I hate to relive it, but Pop Powell tore his Achilles heel in the first quarter, out for the rest of the game, half of next season. And of course, the Thunder ended up winning it, and they are the champions. But it was a great season by the Pacers. Sad. And then there was a huge trade that just went down. Kevin Durant, KD, for all the basketball fans who've been keeping up with the stars. KD was on their trading block, and he got traded to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, which is like a really young, somewhat of a star. He's not very consistent. I felt like it was a bad trade for trade for the Rockets. I'd rather have Jalen Green than Kevin Durant. He like 39 years old. He's bald, but I don't know. We'll see how that works out for him.
Well, I don't know how long that experiment's going to last. I was trying to bring up your tweet, but I happened to come across this instead. Breaking news, Kevin Durant's frustrated with the Rockets organization, has requested a trade.
Already?
So apparently...
What? See, man, he's hard to deal with.
Now, I don't know. I mean, this is from NBA Central, or NBA Centel. Featured on ESPN, Barstool, blah, 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 blah.
Might be a parody account. I don't know.
It does say parody account, but I don't understand. Like, are they just making shit up now? Like, what are we doing?
I wouldn't be surprised if he was trying to get out, but he just got there.
Centel's never wrong, just early. Yep, already. Listen, I love KD and his game style. His clown ass dough. Bro, I just love reading comments sometimes, bro. Such a bitch. It's probably one of my favorite parts of the day. But if that is true, that's fucking wild.
Basketball is my Achilles, which is ironic because it's the Achilles that got blown out for Halliburton at the end of or at the beginning of the 7th game of the NBA Finals. And then if you go back a couple of series ago, Jason Tatum, the star of the Boston Celtics, blew out his Achilles. I think it was Game 7 or one of the last games of their series, and he's going to be out maybe for the whole entire next season. And then if you go back a couple series before that, in the first round, Damian Lillard, a huge star for the Milwaukee Bucks, blew out his Achilles tendon. What's really crazy is they all wear number 0, but also a lot of people are saying that they need to shorten the NBA series, the NBA final series, the playoffs, to 5 games instead of 7-game series.
Oh, come on.
I mean, if it's 3 different stars that blew out their Achilles, that's a major freaking injury. So I know Halliburton was playing with a strained calf, and we talked about it last week, and I kind of implied that maybe he was faking it as an excuse in case they lose, as some stars do. But apparently he was not faking it because that had a lot to do with the Achilles getting pulled.
I'd want to see some strength and conditioning data here, or why that would be happening, but... if you're telling me that the NHL can get out there and fucking hit the living shit out of each other for a 7-game series, even though it didn't go 7, I feel like the NBA players can get out there and play soft fucking basketball because they don't even fucking hit each other anymore. But that is
not like it
fucked
used to
up.
be, that's true.
It's fucked up what happened to Halliburton. I was talking about that with my homie earlier while we were working because he's like, yeah, he fucking blew it out, and I was like, oh shit, well, that sucks for next year too. Like, yeah, that you were saying that. Oof. Hate to see
all
it.
of the games to Game 7 of the NBA Finals. He's been waiting for it all his life, and then he starts off hitting 3 3-pointers in the first quarter. He's cooking, and then in the first quarter goes down with. I mean, you could see him pounding the ground and saying no, no, no when it happened because he knew he was not going to be able to come back for the rest of the game.
Apparently, Durant's picking up all the colors of the rainbow with his jersey collection from where he played.
A million different teams. Tony says, I hate religion. I love God, though. That's a really interesting comment. Ronnie Leto says, sports is all WWE now. I know the refs have a lot to do with it, and a lot of people, including Mark Cuban, were complaining about one play in particular during the finals where one of the Thunder guards, backup guards, was grabbing TJ McCollum's arm, his hand just holding it, and TJ McCollum looks right at the ref. Ref doesn't blow the whistle, and then the Thunder guy gets the steal, and it was an important play too. So that one was pretty messed up. I mean, there were several bad calls in my opinion. Of course, I'm pretty biased here.
I don't want to rub it in.
The Pacers are my team.
This is a video from the OKC.
Ronnie Leto says
parade.
bookies make the calls in real time, and all the players are better than the Harlem Globetrotters, so they are capable of performing real-time scripts to maximize profits. Ronnie Leto, I didn't think you was that much of a conspiracy theorist. That's deep. I don't know if I believe all that. So you think it's all just scripted so that the bookies can make as much money as possible? I don't know, man. Tony says, I don't watch any sports unless it's MMA or boxing. Boxing's boring to me these days. MMA maybe. Boxing, not that great. It used to be. Bring Mike Tyson back. Ronnie Lytle says, that's my conspiracy theory about sports. Yeah, it seemed a bit conspiratorial. Baseball, at best, is a high school sport. Alejandro says that was a parody account with the Durant tweet. I was like, he just got there. He's not even in the city yet. Halliburton, Tatum.
Well, I love how I type in Kevin Durant, and then the first fucking thing that pops up is the parody account. Like, this is why we get fucking hoaxed in this fucking country, because I'm just trying to get some goddamn information on Twitter being like, hey,
man.
Kevin
Twitter's
Durant,
not a good place for information.
give me a feed. You know what I'm saying? That's why, man, like...
Yeah, Viper's right. All 3 of those guys, all 3 stars, pulled a strained calf. They had a strained calf, then they ended up pulling their Achilles, and they all wore number 0. Ronnie Lido says it's all kayfabe. People who watch baseball need help. Rob T says Wilt Chamberlain once averaged 48.5 points per season, 48-minute games, and played all 82 games. Did you know that Pistol Pete Maravich averaged like something like 45 points per game? But that was before they had the three-point line. And statisticians have gone back and looked because they did mark how far away the shot was that he took and went and put the three-point line in. And if they would have had a three-point line, he would have averaged like over 60 points per game for his career. Like, I didn't know Pistol Pete was a beast like that.
They also had to take the apples out of the bucket, out of the basket, and cut the hole in the bottom back then. I mean, there was a lot of shit that used to take place before every fucking game.
Had to dig those short shorts out of your butt crack every couple minutes. C-Spill says the body isn't trained to move like that with all no travel calls. Yeah, they never call travels. Why no move to Africa, says Tom Tom. I don't really... People who watch baseball, why no move to Africa? Not sure where that one came from. We got Denny OC in the chat. Let's go. What's up, Denny? Ahoy, ahoy. Sorry I'm late. No problem, man. We're just talking about the NBA Finals, unfortunately. You know I'm upset about that. Tom Tom says, this show is garbage. Appreciate you, bro. Boxton says, God is smarter than all of us. Logically, every religion could be right and likely is. Post Tower of Babel, best way to ensure man never united again. Establish thousands of religions, all stemming. There's no way that every religion could be right, because that would mean Mormonism would be right, and Mormonism is retarded. Am I allowed to say that now that Trump's president?
I've always been a huge fan of the word retarded. As a matter of fact, my girl sent me a video. I'm not gonna play it on your stream just for whatever reason, but it was an old school ad, and it was like, making fun of your handicapped friends is retarded. I fucked it. I was fucking cracking. I had a funny feeling that's what was coming. But when I got to the end, I'm like, oh, dude, that's golden, man. The commercials back in the day were crazy.
Okay, apparently that NBA Centel is a parody Twitter account. Back to him, all telling them they are the only way to ascend. Make them speak different languages so it would take thousands of years to communicate with each other. By then, the Lord is... In fact, you should start your own channel, Boxing. This is a nice little story you're going, although I'm not buying it personally. I think it's all fake. I think they just looked for ways to control the civilizations at the time.
Well, Boxing does stream. He did a lot back in the day. He used to do Pokemon Go. He actually did some really cool shit where he would walk the streets playing Pokemon Go, but then he would do, because again, he was as a God-fearing man, he would do really nice things for people. He would, was a bagel Monday or some shit like that, where he would go pick up, bagels and stuff, drop them off at the homeless shelter. He'd always, if there was someone that needed help, that dude would always help, including me. I mean, when I was modding for him back then, I was in bad shape in my life. I think it was after my dad passed away or some shit. Oh, it was multiple times. He's like, dude, come play this game. And I'm like, bro, I can barely pick myself up off the fucking floor today. He's like, I'll get you a key here. Come fucking play with us and relax. Like, that's the type of dude he is. You know what I mean?
Nice. I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a really good dude. But, yeah, a lot of things he talks about. He's very, very educated on this stuff. That's why I kind of want to read the Bible now as an adult. Because so much of what I know is just a contradiction of when people talk about, some rabbit hole that I go down on YouTube, and it's like, okay, here's what's in the Bible, and here's the contradiction. And I'm always like, okay, well, if you can contradict it right off the bat, and there's no contradiction for the contradiction, then why do I really need to read the Bible? But I would like to go cover to cover, Old Testament, New Testament. Again, the Book of Enoch is what I'm really the most interested in. But it's just finding the time, dude.
There were other Dead Sea Scrolls besides the Book of Enoch that you would like too.
I know, but that's the one that's
a good one.
Seems to lead more towards like some extraterrestrial intervention. You know what I mean? Like, from what I understand.
The Book of Enoch was written in the same time as the rest of the Bible, but it talks about in one verse where they're talking about the curvature of the earth, like the earth is round. And of course, at that time, nobody thought that the earth was round. So that's another really interesting fact about one of those Dead Sea Scrolls that they found. Woody says, Mo, you got demons in your computer changing all your search results to conspiracy. No, it's called Twitter. That's what Twitter does. Tom says, I want to see this girl. Boxton says, same with, I want to say Rastafarianism, but maybe there is a religion called Pastafarianism.
No, there is actually.
Eat a lot of spaghetti?
Yeah, I think that's a joke, right? But yeah, I'm pretty sure that is a thing. Is that the flying spaghetti monster? The FSM shit? So apparently they wanted to start the flying spaghetti monster. I don't know if they're related, but this is what this is. They wanted to teach some course in like Michigan, and they were like, no. And then they were like, well, if you can get enough people to sign it and actually, you know, buy into it, then we'll do a course on it. And apparently this professor went out and got enough people, and they started a whole religion called Flying Spaghetti Monster. So they worship the Flying Spaghetti Monster. I'm pretty sure that is the pasta. Yeah, so it is. That is the same thing. That's why it made sense.
No, they don't have to pay taxes anymore. Tom says, $50 bet Mo don't have a girl. Mo, show your face, you freak. Mo did show his face the other day. I mean, he's been on here a couple times without the skeleton. We retired the skeleton for a while, but it's back. Foxon said,
yeah, my green screen's all fucked up.
Just needs more love. The Bible has so much more than what they teach in sermons. It's hard to go through at times, but the New Living Translation is a good read. I've read King James, New Living Translation, some other silly stuff. King James is roughest to get through. Their deity is the Flying Spaghetti Monster. It's Pastafarianism. I like it. Sign me up. Alejandro says next week you should look into the fifth plane on 9/11.
That's my only request on this show. Is I don't really want to dial back into 9/11 here. That's just something I don't
do 9/11 on this one. Bruin88 says he's from New York, y'all. That's too close to home.
That was the day. That was the sky is falling type shit that I really don't wish upon my worst fucking enemies. And if you ever think about being trapped on a fucking island where the only bridges off are fucking closed down and everything's fucking blown up, and then you're worried about invasion on the fucking shorelines of your... Yeah, that's just not a day I'd really like to relive. And I thought we had family that was in one of the towers. Thankfully, he was working overseas at the time, so he did not have to go through that. But yeah, it was just a whole fucking bad day anyway.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine having to live through that, living so close to it. Alejandro says, oh, sorry, Bruin88 is in the house. What's up, Bruin88? Good to see you, my man. Yeah, things are going well. We are talking a little bit about sports and catching up with the chat. Ronnie Leto says, that's what you call the victor's wife. Oh, the victors write the history books, man. Kryptoni says, even the Bible states all scripture is inspired by God, not written by him. Tom says, keep going against God. Smart strategy. Lets me know how that works out. Let me know how that works out, genius. Ronnie Leto says, I'm not religious, but I also don't take sides on anything. Team human all day. Woody says, Mo, what's the vibe with the mayoral primary election today? Yeah, that is going on in New York. Did you vote?
No, I was too busy sweating my ass off. Let's see, New York mayoral election. Let's see what's going on with it. Real time. Let's bring it up.
I don't remember that guy's name. I know there's Cuomo.
Yeah, so it's Cuomo. I forget the other guy's name.
It's the new guy, the Mahdi guy or something.
Fucking Zorat? Whatever his name is? The Zohan?
Hopefully he won. That's who we were hoping wins.
Yeah, I mean, we probably won't know. But yeah, it says we won't know until at least July 1st. I mean, why the fuck are we voting on January 24th and we can't figure this shit out for a week? What the hell?
Either necessarily.
Man. Like, oh, let's just give it enough time for people to buy the votes or don't buy the votes. Like, all right, I got $5 billion on the fucking table right now. Do I hear $6 billion from the other side? Like a fucking, like an auctioneer. I got $5 billion from Democrats. Do I hear now 7,000 on the other side? 7,000 now here at 875 now. 8. Do I hear 8 now? 8.5, bringing in $9 billion. $9 billion sold.
Basically. Danielle C says it was over 108 degrees today on the roof. Man, y'all are crazy. I had to stay inside all day. Yeah, it's too hot out there. I did cut my grass the other day, a couple days ago. Whew, that one was rough. Took a few hours. I was done for the rest of the day. Ronnie Leto says, mad respect that you do that kind of work. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah, and for people that are like, oh, because I was like, oh, I was, working out in the heat. But don't feel sorry for me. I help my buddy with his power washing business, so I'm playing with water on hot days. Like, it's really not that serious. But it does get fucking hot, and it is dangerous. We do gotta be careful. But yeah, just drink plenty of water.
Sunscreen. I get burnt so easily. I gotta go wear sunscreen if I'm going to the store in this weather. But,
my problem is I wear black too much, and like black just like absorbs the fucking sun, and it's like, but I like my hat's black. I usually wear black t-shirts. But usually when I work with him, I try to wear like one of my neon fucking 80s colored Michaels shirts that I buy for fucking $250. My whole wardrobe, by the way, I just did my laundry. Bro, like a fucking pride fucking parade fucking coming out of the dryer. It's just nothing but neon blues, greens, yellows. I got pink fucking shirts. I love the neon pink shirts. I rock them all the time. Real men wear pink, bro.
Better than wearing black in the sun, for sure. All right, before we move on to politics, also in sports, the NHL playoffs just ended, apparently. I didn't know.
Yeah, Florida won again, back-to-back, beating Edmonton. Yeah, back-to-back, though, it's pretty good. I mean, if you go back to, like, shit. Talk about dynasties in the NHL. I don't think there is a better one if you go back to the 80s of the Islanders. I mean, you probably don't even know. Chat probably doesn't even remember, but dude, if you ever look at like the Islanders stadium and look up in the rafters, it's just like year after year after year they were just winning it. It was fucking crazy. I don't how many years exactly did they win it, but it was actually wild how good they were. But hey, back to back in a fucking any league nowadays with the free agency market, if you go in back to back, it's impressive. Like when me and you were growing up, right? You remember this. Free agency wasn't so crazy. Guys usually got drafted, they played out the career. Sometimes they would change teams every now and then.
True.
But in most sports, people kind of just played out their contracts, had their hometown, they became hometown heroes or whatever, and then they retired. But then, man, like when free agency started becoming a thing and people were just fucking signing big old deals and trade markets, I mean, it's a whole different world. So if you go in back to back, that's pretty fucking impressive.
100%. Ronnie Lido says he was able to get out today and walk 4 miles to the post office and back to ship a comic book. It's good exercise, just as long as you didn't overheat. Trey says you get barbecue on the roof today. Yeah, especially if you're putting like black towel down. That would really attract the heat. Ronnie Lido says, whatever you got paid, it's not enough. Tom Tom says, Mo told me horse racing app was going to the moon. Patience, bro. Ronnie Lido says, unless you own the business.
Yeah, I made like over fucking almost 200K on there, so I don't know any other projects that would have made me that. Just saying.
Rob and Viper are saying Mike Bossy, is he like the star player for Florida?
No, Mike Bossy was the old Islander from the fucking all the teams that won it, yeah.
I don't. Only hockey players I knew was when the Pittsburgh Penguins had Jaromir Jagr and Mario Lemieux. Those were my guys. Kryptoni says,
Yeah.
I got
but
the
even they
chaser
didn't
on.
win back time. I'm pretty sure they won a cup. But,
they won a couple.
4 in a row, by the way, on the Islanders. I had to look it up because I wasn't exactly sure of the years. And I actually thought there was a year break in between, but apparently not. 4 years in a row, 80 to 83. In sports, that is 4 seasons, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's stuff to do, man. But yeah, Florida's good. It's a good team.
Congratulations to Kryptoni. Got the chaser on Elmon today with only 40 edition. Nice. I wonder what those are selling for. I still want a Mona Lisa from Elmon X. I feel like they're gonna blow up at some point. I know Kid Arcade's got 2 of them. Rob T says,
Does he really?
congrats on hitting that chaser. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he still has 2 of them. I think they'll blow up one day. They're probably
I always
still
wanted the
$1,000 floor.
I always wanted the King Tut.
Yeah, that one's cool
mask.
too. I think the one that Kryptoni got has some. Yeah, it's an Egyptian artifact. Think it's some type of helmet, or I remember seeing an advertisement for it. Tom says he wants.
Yeah,
proof
wasn't the
that
King Tut one?
Yeah, there's another one too though.
Oh, is there another one too? I didn't really keep track on it, so.
Then he says if Mo has to prove his 200K, then Tom has to prove the billions of dollars he claims to have. You better pray we don't meet. Why? Because he wants you to prove the billions of dollars. Cheese guys, stay wet. Oh, cheers, guy. All right, stay wet. Appreciate you, Viper. Good to hear you, gents. Good to see you, Michael James. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're getting ready to get into politics and talk about what's going on in the world of politics. Although Mo's been busy this week, so he says he doesn't know a whole lot about what's going on. So I'm gonna have to clue him in.
I know we
wanna
dropped
see
some bombs. I know that much. I know that apparently there was a ceasefire, and then apparently there wasn't. And Trump was dropping F-bombs this morning at the golf course.
Well, the whole
Or,
ceasefire thing. So yeah, Israel attacked Iran, and then I guess America also jumped in and bombed Iran, a couple of the nuclear sites. And then Trump tweeted out that he had brokered a ceasefire between Israel and Iran said, "We don't know what you're talking about." And it's pretty obvious that Trump pretty much just went on the idea that Iran doesn't want to keep fighting. So if he says there's a ceasefire, that they won't attack so that they don't get attacked again. But Iran's like, "No, you can't just play us like that." So they just kept on attacking. So the ceasefire was completely fake, like most things that Donald Trump does. And you can go back and look at the apparent trade deals that he had with China, and China's like, "We don't know what you're talking about," and the 90 trade deals that he apparently already had, but none of them have came through and been completed yet. So I don't even understand how anybody is still supporting the crazy president that we have right now. But we have gone to war now, even though the president, Donald Trump, during the campaign said that he was the pro-peace, anti-war president. And he literally said, if you elect a Kamala, she will have us in a new war in the Middle East within 6 months. And within 6 months, I mean, does nobody feel like they got conned? Do you feel like you got conned, Mo? Didn't you want to vote for Trump because you didn't think he would start another war, and did he not just start another war?
I mean, this isn't even a fucking war, really. This is just a little skirmish. But nah, at the end of the day, I mean, listen, and this isn't even just Republicans or people like me on the right. Like even the left, they're like a high percentage just don't want Iran to have nukes. It's just the end of the day, and it's not even. Yeah, look it up. Just look it up. It was on CNN. They were the ones that did it. They
It
couldn't
doesn't
believe the
matter.
data.
Mo, it doesn't matter. They've been saying
It does
that
matter.
Iran building. No, they've been saying Iran's been building nukes. Israel's been saying this. Netanyahu's been saying this
Right.
since 1995. Now, our own
Right. And how many
intelligence
strikes have
just
we
said
done? And how many
our
strikes have
own.
we
Mo,
done over
stop
the
for a
course of
second.
these years?
Mosif, stop for a second. Our own intelligence said that they are not building nukes. So how is it that Trump has some type of intelligence that our own intelligence doesn't have? How does he know more than our
Actually,
own
Tulsi Gabbard said
CIA?
that was misquoted. And the
Oh,
IAEA, what the fuck it is, the other national fucking or international fucking coalition, they said that they were reaching too fast. So it's not even like just the US was like, oh, we're strong arming it. Other countries, I think it was like 19, were like, they're enriching too fast. So if the rest of the world was on board, I can't deny that. I can't deny the data. So, I mean,
there is
that's.
no data. It's completely fake. Our own intelligence says not only have they not
No,
enriched
Tulsi
uranium to
Gabbard
the
went out
point
and
of
said that she
weaponry.
was misquoted. She was misquoted. That information was not correct.
I think it's
So,
in Congress, and like you can go back and actually watch the clip itself. And there's a different time where she says that not only have they not proliferated any type of nuclear weapons, but they are not interested in trying to proliferate nuclear weapons. And Iran says themselves that they're not trying to get nukes in any way, shape, or form. But now that they're in this war, you got countries like Russia and North Korea trying to give Iran nukes. And the whole thing could have been avoided in the first place when Obama had a peace deal with Iran
he dropped
already.
bombs on fucking Iran too. Iran. He dropped more bombs, I think, than anybody recently.
Who?
Like, what the fuck?
Who? When?
I mean,
How?
we're talking about bunker busters that were precision fucking strikes, going right in, taking out targets. Now, they said that, it obliterated the fucking program. Now we're seeing things, of course, from CNN, where it's like, oh, it only put them back a few months. So, again, but this is, if you even go back, and even back into when Trump wasn't president, there's been like 25 strikes over the past 15 years, I think it has been, where we've gone back, we've actually done this intentionally to set them back and set back the program. But nobody ever said a fucking word back then. But now everybody wants to get all fucking crazy, but there's a reason why they haven't been able to fucking make the bombs and make the nukes, because we've always set them back. And US aid has always set them back. We talked about this. I told you, there's a great fucking video on this, man. You really need to watch it, where it absolutely shows with indisputable fucking evidence that this US aid shit is nothing more than a cover-up from the CIA back in the day. They created a whole other fucking division to go in and infiltrate other fucking countries and basically fucking disrupt. That was their main fucking agenda. So,
Yep, 100%.
you know-
Yeah, and I confirmed that as well. They even
Yeah.
went to rappers in Cuba and got the rappers to rap particular songs
Yeah.
making fun of the government.
they went in and bought a whole... I don't know if we talked about it. I think we did talk about it, actually. But they went in and bought a whole social media platform and made it with music videos and got people hooked on the swiping, and then boom, overnight they did all this fucking political fucking invasion type shit with propaganda and basically turning people inside out. Oh, bro. Absolutely
So, I mean, we already
wild.
had it under control. Not only did we have USAID working on it, which we no longer have working on it, but we also had, of course, the treaty that Obama had that they were 100% complying with, which international investigators would go in there and check all the time. And for some reason, Trump decided to get rid of that. And now the deal that Trump wants Iran to sign is the exact same deal that he got rid of, which is the same as the trade agreement that he, in his first term, made with Canada and Mexico. That in his second term said, well, this is a dumb agreement. Who made this? It was him. And he completely canceled it. So this dude has no clue what he's doing. And the fact that people are still supporting him just shows you like they don't, like you, Mo. I'm sorry, I have to be honest. Like you don't know what you're talking about. The people are getting bad information from bad sources. If you're still supporting this person who completely has no clue what he's doing, he's going against what our own intelligence says. He's doing Netanyahu's bidding. And what we really need to talk about, if you guys don't mind for 1 second, is the fact that his best friend for over 10 years, Jeffrey Epstein, who he met his wife on their plane, who Jeffrey Epstein recruited all his women from Mar-a-Lago, whose second-hand man was Maxine Giswell. Do you know who Maxine Giswell or whatever her name is, her father is? He's like one of the main dudes in Mossad. And Mossad is Israel's CIA. It's their intelligence. And she is like her dad is the main guy in Mossad. So if Trump was on Epstein Island, they definitely have pictures of it. And that means Mossad, Israel, has pictures of it. So Israel's able, if they wanted to, get him to go and bomb Iran, which they've been trying to get every American president since Reagan to bomb Iran, and they all said no. Why is it that they're able to get Trump to do it? Because they probably have this dirt on him.
I mean, there's so many people that show up on the Epstein that we really need to fucking see them. I mean, that is going to be the only way we can ever put it to rest. But I would assume, and just, I'm going to say, not because I'm a Trumper. I'm just saying, looking at it realistically, if you show up a few times, I'd be like, all right, maybe the guy was doing business. If you show up like Clinton did, I'd be like, all right, maybe this guy's got a fucking problem. So, you know, this is just what we've heard over the years.
I'm sure Clinton was big on it too. I'm sure he's another person.
But here's the thing, Clinton was one of my favorite presidents of all time. So that's the even crazier part. I mean, maybe I'm just a bad judge of character sometimes, but Clinton was one of my favorite people ever, dude. The guy was fucking smoking weed. He was playing the saxophone. He was banging fucking bitches in the White House. I mean, this dude was like our idol.
Importantly, he gave us a surplus, the last surplus we ever had for our budget. Ever since then, it's been deficits and deficits and deficits. Clinton gave us a surplus. I don't care who's blowing you in the Oval Office if you're giving us a surplus. I'm good with it.
Yeah, but you can credit most of that to Reagan. But yeah, it's just...
What? What?
I'm saying if you're gonna go back to when America was prosperous, I mean, it was in the 80s. It was in. I mean,
Reagan was the worst president in the history of our country. He sold us out to the corporations and made lobbying legal. Let me catch up with the chat though. Bruin88 says
this fucking country would have sold out to corporation regardless, bro. Fucking money hungry motherfuckers, and that's basically my side.
We shouldn't have. If we wouldn't have, we'd be better off like we were whenever we became the strongest and richest country in the world. Whenever the people at the top are paying marginal tax a higher rate. Daniel C says, Tom, can you come into chat just blazing or what? Yeah, Tom comes in blazing, of course. But yeah, we're good with that. We like the blazers. Let's see. Kryptoni says airdrop for anyone holding either variant of the drop today or a Tut mask. I can't do Elmon X anymore. I got into it with Jacob Elmon. I found out.
Oh, now we're getting drops for Tut mask. I gotta fucking get one.
You got. Maybe I'll just secretly get into it. I'll change my name or something. Let's see. Tom says, deny. I got no problem punching people in the face. I'm taking more punches than you have thrown. Oh, it's getting wild here. We got Jay Hirsch in the chat. Let's go.
Everybody relax, bro. Come on. Like me and Ball, we just joke around. We're going at it, bro. Like at the end of the day, we're both fucking red-blooded Americans.
Right. Tom says I'm an Antifa suspect. You know what Antifa stands for, right? Anti-fascism. Anti-fascist. I think that's a good thing to be right now, especially. What he says, the thing is Trump destroyed the treaty with Iran in 2018, which allowed them to start enriching. I'm glad Woody's here. At least somebody freaking understands what we're talking about. Let's see.
I mean, most of the funding shows up back in Iran after 2020. I mean, that's just what the data was showing. But I mean, I could be looking at, right-leaning data, I suppose. Take a look.
Probably. I don't know.
But all the data I was looking at, and this is, again, I try to look at unbiased sources. Sometimes my initial data feed will come from a right-leaning side, which, whatever. Sometimes it comes from fucking Hassan, which is the furthest from the right. But, every now and then, but it just puts me down a rabbit hole. And I'm like, all right, well then, we just fucking learn everything about it, and I'll just use critical thinking and figure out what I think.
Exactly what I wish everybody would do. Kryptoni says, I don't like Trump either, but if he gave me
But it doesn't help if I still lean right. Doesn't mean I just listen to the right.
I'd pick him to go with before I'd pick Kamala or Joe. Just saying I'm not Republican, but I'm not Demo either. Based on what? Kryptoni, you want the crazy person who could drop a nuke? The crazy person who's trying to make side deals so he can enrich himself? That makes no sense.
He just prefers it over the people that lied to us over and over again, trying to tell us that Joe Biden was fine, that the fucking Democratic Party was fine.
Go back and look at the
No, he wasn't fine.
Go look at the 2016 debates between him and Trump. Whenever it was time to vote for Joe Biden, he was perfectly fine. I mean,
he was not fine. There's even Democrats coming out now being like, yeah, this dude was not fucking fine. So maybe they're just trying to save face. But
when it was time to vote for him, he was fine.
We don't care because it doesn't fit the narrative. But the fact is that, and again, I'm not even looking. I like Joe Biden. I fucking watching videos of Joe Biden fucking going back into the 80s and shit, the 90s. I'm like, I like this motherfucker, dude. Then I just saw this guy that fucking stood there, basically auto-penning and everything, and it's kind of crazy too. If you go back, there was some Obama interview. He was like, in a perfect world, I would sit in the back room and somebody else would take over the office and I'd do it again. And it's kind of wild because if maybe that's what was happening, it could very well be. But he did say that. That was a direct Obama quote.
It's a good thing that he put good people around him because he was, going downhill at the end of his presidency. And that's the fact that he had good people around him is why we ended his presidency with a super strong economy, high GDP. We had low unemployment. We had stock market all-time highs over and over. So any metric you want to use besides inflation, which of course was worldwide, even though they want to blame it on Biden, it makes no sense at all. France had
Oh,
record
I didn't really
inflation.
go about that because every country would have fucking suffered after COVID. That's why I didn't even want Trump coming back in 2020. Because I'm like, I'm just gonna blame everything on him anyway. It just, to me, it made more sense to go Biden in 2020. I just thought he was fully competent at the time, but you know, I don't know, man. Like I said, I say hindsight's 2020, but God, I told you, I fucking hate that phrase now, bro. I don't even want to say the year 2020 anymore. Just fucking,
It was a good year for me because I mean that's when I discovered VeVe and created my YouTube channel and didn't have to go to work anymore.
Yeah, but that's when I got in late.
Yeah, true.
Wait, no, when was so it was October, right? When they did the partner statue drop? Was that in October?
I want to say November.
It might have been November. Maybe I heard about the partner statue drop in October, but I didn't look into VeVe. But I remember seeing it, being like, "Oh, this is going to be kind of cool." I'm like, "This is and you know, my girl's big on Disney. You know, she's like, "Oh, this is such a popular place to take pictures," and I'm like, "Oh, NFTs, augmented reality, like it makes sense," you know. But
with the chat real quick, Kryptoni says we are the only country in the world ever to use a nuke in battle.
Facts.
I feel safe in this damn country.
And now Japan loves us. See, you dropped a nuke on them, and it took a while, but they came around.
Well,
they respect the hell out of us now.
Because we had a meeting set up with Trump and Japanese negotiators over the tariffs scheduled for July 1st. And at first, U.S. wanted Japan to spend 3% of its GDP on defense, which they thought was way too high, but they agreed to it. And then as soon as they agreed to it, Trump's team came back and said, all right, now we want you to spend 3.5% of your GDP. So just yesterday, Japan canceled their meeting on July 1st and put out a big statement saying that the U.S. is trying to extort us and we're not going to fall for this extortion anymore and that Trump is a scammer, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, they're not as friendly with us as they used to be thanks to our horrible leader that's in the office right now.
But they still won't fuck with us because they remember fucking Hiroshima.
That's probably
was it Nagasaki? They'll remember that shit forever. That shit'll fucking ring for eternity, bro.
He's the enemy of the American people, bro. Don't get kicked, bro. Don't get booted. Bro,
wait, what happened?
That's big speculation. I don't necessarily know that it is big speculation. Why is he bombing Iran? Well, how do we profit from this? Didn't he say we're supposed to be trying to save money? They just cut all this humanitarian aid and cancer research to save a tiny, tiny portion of what it costs.
I think you typed that message when you were talking about Trump's link to the dude with the Mossad stuff.
I know, exactly. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm just saying, I believe it.
I mean, I'll look into it. I mean, shit, if you ever get some fucking info on that, that's definitely something, a rabbit hole I'd like to go down. But
I mean, that is where Ghislaine Maxwell's, is Ghislaine Maxwell's father. And remember, whenever she
I know, but we can piece it together. But I want to know, like, what proof do we have of this? I want to see, you know, I want to see what's the counter argument on it and how much does that make sense? Because usually, if the counter argument makes no sense, kind of like when you look at anything Egypt related, I'm always just like, yeah, I don't buy it. Like, there's money behind it. There's some sort of fucking gatekeeping going on. And politics is the same shit, bro.
If you remember the press conference where they asked Trump about Ghislaine Maxwell, he was like, I wish her the best, which was really weird because they already knew that she was associated with Epstein and Epstein had already been arrested. And that's probably because, like I said, her father is Mossad. Let's see. Batman pillowcases. I don't know if the source is right or left. I just need facts and then verify them with other sources. Exactly. Verify the facts that you get. And I don't think a lot of people do that. Kryptoni says, if you went into a room with Mike Tyson in there and he's mad at you, would you want to go in with your crazy friend from the trailer park or your grandpa? I mean,
this is why I always agree with Tony, bro. Me and Kryptoni have like the same brain. He just types.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily know that that's a way to handle it if you have a whole entire military. Woody says, not a Biden fan, even though I like some policies that his administration got done. I'm more progressive like Bernie. AOC for the workers. Me too, Woody.
You can sell me on Bernie almost any day. But the problem is, it's like, oh, well, okay, universal wage, fucking healthcare for all. Okay, well, how the fuck do you pay for it? And then they stammer and they don't really know how to fucking pay for it. Yeah, and I've already told you guys how to pay for it.
You tax the rich.
No, yeah, well, you can do that too. But you could even just tax fucking, you could federally make weed federally legal and tax it across the country. But it would make more than enough money. It would actually make more than enough money if you take the fucking numbers from the states that already legalized it, that track the data. It would make way more than enough to do exactly that. Universal fucking income and fucking healthcare for all. And it would be no question to ask. And people would probably still get a full tax refund every year with no fucking like tax fucking liability. Like, was it Colorado? That shit was the most funny. That was the funniest thing I ever read, dude. When they first opened up their weed stores, it was like, within the first hour today, all Coloradians are getting back full tax returns thanks to, Legalize weed. Because it's just fucking paid for all the schools, paid for all the roads, everything got paid for, so there's no more liability left on the citizens. And they're like, all right, well, we're good. That's kind of crazy.
A lot of things
That's
should be,
kind of
not
cool.
just weed. It should also be that way for medicine because a lot of the medical breakthroughs that happen
Oh, I
get
agree.
happen at universities, and then
Yep,
somehow
I agree.
they get sold off to these private corporations that price gouges, and it's funny what they're doing with health insurance now because instead of lowering our prices here because everybody's saying health insurance is too high, medical costs, prescriptions are too high. Now they're saying that it's because all these places in Europe aren't charging enough. So instead of lowering our prices, their plan now is to raise everybody else's prices.
Yeah, I know I heard that bullshit. It's just doesn't, like, the math doesn't math. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, nobody will ever convince me if you're a fucking full right-leaning fucking Republican and you're trying to tell me, like, oh, no, tax cuts for the fucking rich are great. Like, business. Nah, I'm sorry. Like, you're not going to sell me on that. It's just, it's greed. It's corporate greed. It's fucking personal greed. It's bullshit. You know what I'm
So
saying?
how do you feel
Like,
about the big beautiful bill then? Because I feel like that's the main point of the big beautiful bill is to give big tax cuts to the rich, and all the other stuff that's in there is just to incentivize the giving away of the big tax cuts to the rich. Are you for the big beautiful bill? What do you think about it?
so what I feel like they're doing is just kind of like buying us out. We're being like, all right, well, yeah, we'll give you guys a little something, something to make your lives better, but at the same time, our lives are going to get insanely fucking better. Yeah, and I don't. Again, that's the fucking right Republican bullshit I've never been on board with. Like, if never a day in my life was like, oh, corporate greed's a good thing. No. Now, are there times where, I think we talked about this, what was it, GM or whatever, where they're like, okay, well, instead of dealing with the, tariff increases and passing it along, we're gonna make 10 billion this year instead of 14 billion. And the shareholders were kind of just like, hey, you know what? We're still making 10 billion. Like,
That's how it
so
should be.
they're not. Yeah, and that's how it should be, exactly. But that just shows how much fucking corporate greed it exists, where if one company like that can easily absorb $4 billion, and even the board members, nobody was complaining. It was like, okay, yeah, no, it's not the right thing to do to pass it along to the consumer. We're going to eat it. We're going to make 10 bill this year. So it's like, what can you attest that to? Well, it's corporate greed. It's fucking, right? It's fucking loopholes, tax loopholes for the rich and the corporations. And yeah, they've been abusing them for a long time. Trust me, if I ever got into office, dude, oh man,
If we
it would
didn't
be
have
a
that, we'd be able
crazy
to
world.
afford a lot more stuff. We'd be able to afford universal health care, which I think we should definitely have. We're like the only first world country in the world that doesn't have it.
Yeah.
What he says, every other developed country in the world has universal health care. Exactly. That it shows how much healthier and longer living they are. So the statistics already show that having universal health care increases people's longevity, their lives. But Bruni with the counterpoint says the free healthcare in those countries are just basic care. If you need CTs, or MRIs, you need additional care. And I did hear Denny OC complaining a little bit about the healthcare system in Canada, which supposedly is universal healthcare, but they still have to pay money. Now, I remember watching the documentary, the Michael Moore documentary, Sicko, and it's like 20 years old now, but they went to all these different countries and showed different cases of people injuring themselves and not having to pay any money at all, even when they're on vacation as an American or whatever. So I
Right,
definitely
but
think overall the universal healthcare system is a better system.
okay, but let's say that universal healthcare is only a fallback, right? So it's like it's a safety net, but you're not locked in to say, hey, listen, if you're a family and you guys have money and you can afford to go to a better fucking doctor, then by all means, make an appointment for tomorrow. But if you don't and you can't afford it and you have to go to a doctor, well, guess what? You might have to wait 10 days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I have no
but
problem.
only if it's used in that fashion. Like, I don't think
Right.
they're like locking people in and not putting people in chains, being like, you could only use. I could be wrong on that. I definitely could be wrong on that. But
I don't think they should. I like the idea of having private insurance also for people who want to pay for it. Ronnie Lido
the
says
people that
free
want to
basic-
pay for it. But then I see how that, and I've seen the argument against this because like, oh, well, then it's going to take away good doctors from doing the cheap healthcare when they want good doctors to be on the cheap universal healthcare, so that more people will use it. But you can't have both because again, people want to make money. So if you have some doctors that are like, well, I'm gonna stay private, and
Right,
if people
you'll
can
have that
afford it,
option,
they
but
fucking go.
also, and they go through this in United Kingdom. They do this really well in Britain in particular, and they probably do it in a lot of other countries as well. But whenever you have these universal healthcare doctors that are treating people that have universal healthcare and are using it to get treatment, they give them incentives that help their pay. So you see, Bruin 88 says all those doctors don't make that much money like here. That's incorrect. They make a base salary that's already pretty high, probably like 100,000, but you get a bunch of incentives for keeping your patients healthy. So I think it's in Britain, if you're a doctor, if you have a patient and you're able to get them to quit smoking, you get an extra $20,000 that year. It's things like that that incentivizes them to do a good job instead of what we have the system right now that incentivizes them to push pharmaceuticals that pay them the most money and might not necessarily help their patient. So I definitely, like I said, like that system better. Kryptonian says, you want free healthcare or the biggest military in the world? You can't have both. I'll take free healthcare.
If you legalize weed and tax it, you absolutely could have both. Because it wouldn't
tax the rich, tax the rich. It's giving them a marginal tax rate because people that are rich right now, that top 1%, the big 10 richest families, they make so like the math is hard to understand for people, but it's not like the 70s,
no, the math doesn't math, bro.
They make so much more money. They're making like
Yeah.
hundreds of millions a day. You have to give them a marginal tax rate. People don't want to do that because they're the ones you control. As you can see, Elon Musk is the richest man in the world and the top political donor. DLC says, unfortunately, in Canada, the healthcare system is completely broken between wait times, so many people without family doctors. But I do feel like we're the richest country, so we should be able to do it better than any other country. It is free. Yeah. So, I mean, there's advantages and disadvantages. And then, of course, you can look at other systems like the ones in Norway or France or Germany. It's so broken they now allow you to have assisted end of lives. That's messed up.
That's wild. That's true.
I don't know how that works. I don't even know if that's legal here, but I know it used to be. My kid's been on a wait list for surgery for over 6 months, not scheduled until September. Well, I mean, hopefully it's not something that he needs right away. So yeah, that's not good. Bruni said,
that would be my question, right? Like, if you had somebody in that situation, I'm sorry to hear that, obviously, Denny, but you know, like, if you had the money and the means, could you expedite the surgery and get, go somewhere else? Because again, I feel like it would be wild for them to be like, no, you can only use the free healthcare. You can only be the one that we sign you up for. That would almost seem like some like weird regime type shit that I wouldn't really be on board with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Like just basically telling people like you have no other option. Like it's us or nothing like that. I don't know.
He just got back from Korea. Shout out to Bruin for going to Korea. Man, they got some hot chicks over there. Basic healthcare for all. It is nice, but of course you need additional for surgery or scans. So I guess, yeah, there are some stuff that you still have to pay for, even in universal healthcare systems. And of course, people could have private healthcare even through their employer with the universal healthcare system for things like that. Ronnie Lotto says, for example, here, 80% of all oncologists' income comes from chemo and radiation to keep us sick. Ooh.
Yep.
88 says starting pay for doctors here is $250,000. I would have to look at some pay rates for other countries. I don't necessarily know because that documentary I watched was over 20 years old. Daniel C says all my doctor does is try to prescribe pills and refer to specialists. I went to a general care doctor like a couple years ago, and all she did, I mean, I told her I had this problem. She said, all right, go see this specialist. Then I said, I also have this problem. She's like, all right, go see this specialist. It was like 3 different things. Like, she didn't do anything. Like, I have Google. I could have found those specialists myself. I didn't know that's all you did. I never went back.
So you're nothing more than like an AI agent at this point. Like, you're just you fucking redirecting my ass. And that's why people are like, hey, listen, most doctors are going to be out of fucking business. Like, AI is going to replace them too, because you could just go in and do a quick virtual checkup. And they're like, all right, turn your camera on, say, and they have everything fucking scanning you real time. And it will do a much better job, more than likely, of actually helping you, or probably do what doctors do and say, okay, let me refer you to somebody else and make sure you tell them fucking I sent you, you know?
Yep.
Tell them Lodge Mod sent you.
AI's going to take over all kinds of jobs like that. Ronnie Leto says they have an unfortunate incentive to prescribe these things even if people don't need them so that they can pay off their school debts. Another good point. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Tom Meniscus.
Unless you're here, they just canceled student debt a while back, right? And fucking...
I think they uncanceled that. I'm
one
of the people. I got uncanceled.
Uncanceled?
Yes, literally. Of course, Trump is for the people. He's uncanceling the student loan debt relief.
I mean, to be honest, and again, I'm not going to say the Trump thing, but just if anybody was in office or anybody made that change and they were like, let's just eliminate student debt. I'm like, motherfucker, because y'all told me if I went to college, I was being debt forever, and it made me fucking change my life and do things differently. Like, man, I wish I would just done it and just said, fuck it, take the debt. And honestly, now that's what I do. Like, oh, my car broke down? Fuck it, take the debt, get a car. You know what I'm saying? Like if shit happens, whatever, like even my teeth or whatever, I'm like, fuck
gotta
it,
go
finance it.
Yeah. At this
But
point,
that's the
some
American
people
dream, right? Just fucking debt, freedom of
Yeah.
speech, and fucking debt. So I
And
feel like I'm doing
I don't
well.
necessarily feel the same way about forgiving student loans because if you look at the stuff the rich people get, you look at the PPP loans, they all got forgiven and they were for millions and millions of dollars and it was all given to rich people who didn't
It's
need the
true.
money. So, I
True.
mean, you can forgive my loans. I'll be happy with it. Let me try to catch up so we can get to the rest of our topics. Ronnie Leto says lots of money in surgeries. They will go towards that first and foremost, but you have to have a lot of skill to do that. So they kind of deserve it. Daniel C says we can try to find a second opinion. However, war times are ridiculous. Oh, wait times, my bad. Yeah, I hear that about Canada. Pay for your own kids and family. Stop asking other people to pay for your family. Get a job. Tom Tom is a not a very smart person. Ronnie Leto says people get hernia surgeries now with a robot. It's almost procedure now. Ooh, I don't know
I
if I
bet
want
Tom Tom's just mad because he's got 7 days of food stamps. Motherfuckers talking about fucking government assisted programs. Jesus Christ.
Daniel says,
How's your EBT card, motherfucker? What's the balance?
what the F do family doctors even do anymore? Yeah, they just refer you. Uh, auto pen BS. The whole auto pen topic is stupid. It's already been decided in courts. You don't. I mean, he's allowed to do an auto pen. Do you think that Trump personally signed every one of the pardons for the J6 people? I guarantee he did not. He used auto pen. Brunette says Biden didn't help with my student loans.
But at least
He
Trump would
almost
know
helped
what the
with
hell
mine.
they were for. I really don't think that Biden would have known what the fuck was being signed or what the hell was even going on.
I think Biden knows more about it than Trump does. Whenever you see him filling out those executive orders, he has no clue what he's signing. The person next to him has to sit there and explain it to him, and he's like, "Oh, that's a good idea." He has no. He is living in a whole different planet. That's why he doesn't even trust our own intelligence. He just goes by what Netanyahu says, because he's not there. He's a lot less there than Biden. I'll take Biden over Trump any day, all day, every day. Ronnie Lotto says they should alienate. I'm sorry.
Damn it, we didn't change him over this week, chat. We tried.
They've got enough. I can't believe that you're still supporting Trump after he was the pro-peace, anti-war, and 6 months in, he's already bombing Iran. And he's like, whatever.
We didn't bomb Iran. He fucking said
He
no
bombed
nukes.
Iran. He bombed.
Nah, threw
What?
some bunker buses in there. Fucking precision, pinpoint
Aren't they called
accuracy.
the mother of all bombs? The Moabs? 300 pound, 3,000 ton? I don't know.
Yeah, but the way
Tom
they
Tom-
go in, it's like surgical. It's like, and it's actually impressive. I mean, honestly, whether you like war or not, I don't.
I'm not impressed.
It's just impressive watching them thread a needle like that.
Apparently, Iran had already moved everything out of that site because Trump had already hinted that he was going to be doing that 3 weeks earlier on Twitter. So apparently, they didn't destroy anything. But how can you trust what Iran says? You can't trust Trump. Can't trust Iran. I don't know what to believe when it comes to that. Kryptoni says, I'd rather worry about how I'll come up with a copay opposed to worrying about getting blown off the map by Iran. How are those two things mutually exclusive? I mean, if we had
Well, no, if
universal-
you were saying before, we can't have universal healthcare and a strong military at the same
which is
time.
just bullcrap. That's just people.
I mean, I don't know if that is
sound
bullcrap.
method.
Like I said, you would have to do some
Give me
crazy
more revenue,
shit.
tax revenue. There's plenty
Yeah.
of it out there, and the top 1% are hoarding it all. Woody says Trump's big, beautiful flag poles are exactly 88 feet tall, which apparently is code for Heil Hitler. I saw that too, and I checked to see are flag poles normally 88 feet tall? No, they're not normally. Why is it that he made it exactly 88 feet tall whenever 88 is like a code number for white supremacy? Woody pointed out. I'm just reading the chat. Tom Tom says you people crying for
The
money.
first thought that ran into my head was it is H the eighth fucking letter in the alphabet, and apparently it is.
Yep.
Counted out on my fingers.
Danielle C says maybe so, but I earned over cent ever made. But I earned every cent ever made. Brunette says these guys standing next to Trump are required to be there for all us presidents. If you think the media would tell us any real info, you are funny. Depends on which media. All any of us know is what is public. It's all moot. If you have any medical problems, don't look for others to pay your way. Bruh. That Tom Tom is not a smart person, y'all. Do not listen to him. Ronnie Lotto says because he wanted to compete with all the other monuments in the area. And what he says, one of his pardons let a business owner off the hook for paying employees $4 million of their stolen money back. His mom gave him $1 million at Mar-a-Lago. Yep, I saw that story as well. I mean, he's just
I
basically.
need to see that one coming across my desk.
Yeah,
But can we stop talking about 88-foot fucking flagpoles? Can we talk about why there's an obelisk? And why there's fucking all this shit going around? Like that's the shit we should be worried about in Washington, bro.
the
Fucking aliens are gonna come down. Yeah, bro, it's a fucking obelisk.
As soon as they power that pyramid up again, we might get some juice running over to our capital. All right, let's move on to our next topic because
That'd
we
be
only
sick.
got like 30 minutes left and we still got a few topics to talk about. And actually, for this topic, which is Web3 gaming, we got something special for you. Mo's got something special for you in place of Web3 gaming. What exactly is it, Mo?
I just thought it'd be kind of funny to watch few quick videos and discuss with chat. First of all, for Web3 relation, Photo Finish has now added new camera angles during the replays. Not gonna lie, some of them are a little jarring, and I'm like, God damn it, get me back closer to the action at the right time. But they look fucking cool, man. I was watching one of my races earlier, and yeah, it's really fucking nice now.
What is it?
It's just new camera angles. I'll say I can probably just bring one up here and play it while we talk. But yeah, I thought it'd be fun. So, do you believe that animals can like talk to each other?
Dolphins 1000% can.
Dolphin?
They have
Any other
names.
animals?
Yeah. I mean, even trees can communicate with each other.
Have you ever like seen any really, really compelling evidence of like? I know dolphins have a lot of data out there, but have you ever seen like any other animals?
Dolphins make their own sound for their own name. So if when a dolphin's born, it comes up with its own unique sound, and that's like its name. And whenever it goes to meet some other dolphins, it'll say its name, and the dolphins will repeat its name to say that they acknowledge it. So that's definitely communication for sure. Le Chatelain says bonobos. I know monkeys and apes are really super smart, but yeah, they did sign language. Didn't a bunch of the gorillas do sign language, like type of communication?
Well,
That's
it's
what
not even a fact of like, can they do sign language and talk back to us and understand us? Like, that's one thing, which I think is cool, and I think it happens too. But like, so I'll bring up this video. I was waiting for the replay to show one of the new angles, but even this is a little different. The way it kind of just pans back, and it used to cut. Oh, yeah, it's like this. It's got like the further away angle. It's just got more of like a TV type feed.
I like that.
One thing I will say is you can kind of see how low poly the game renders at for the videos, but once it zooms out, you're like, oof, we gotta probably upgrade those graphics a little bit. It still looks better than any of the other Web3 horse racing
like
games.
Zed Run.
Oh god, Zed Run tried to rebrand itself and come back.
Oh yeah.
But this is one of the first videos I wanted to show you. I thought this was pretty interesting. So there's a horse trying to eat, and he can't eat because he's got a muzzle on.
Oh.
And he goes to the other horse. Look at it. The other horse is just like, oh yeah, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Dang.
bro, this horse is over there just like trying to eat some grass, and he's like, bro, I got this fucking thing on my face, man. Give me a hand. And like I said, this dude, look, lifts his head up, and like now they're just totally in sync. He knows exactly what's up. He's like, come here, bro, I got you.
Are they making any sounds, or is it just all nonverbal? Because it kind of like there's a moment there after he stomps where the bigger horse is like looking around right there. He's like, what do I do
like
now?
blown out his nose, like.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, they definitely do a lot of communication for sure.
This could be a fabricated, but let's just enjoy the fucking clip, Ronnie. Jesus Christ. So that was one where I'm like, that's pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
You ever see this one? This one's sick. It's a bunch of ants working together to get this fucking puzzle piece through the puzzle.
Yeah, I have seen this. This is wild.
This is awesome. And it's not even like, oh, they got lucky. Really? Because these motherfuckers backed up, turned around, tried it the other way, realized, oh shit, yeah, no, that ain't gonna work. And now these dudes are like, alright, so we just gotta... I know, bro, it's like, hey, Charlie, bring it back to the left. He's like, when to go up a corner. Yep, there we go. Alright, now you bring that one in.
How small their brains are. Like, how is this possible?
Yeah, it's insane. Was it you I was talking about? Was it last week or the week before? Some guy made a video where I thought he was gonna kill the ants. And he would like put a piece of candy down, and the scout ant would come, and the scout ant would leave and get everybody, and when he left, he would replace it with a cap or something that wasn't food. So the scout ant would come back, and the fucking other ants would be looking at the scout ant like, yo, what the fuck you call us here for? And multiple times the scout ant leaves, comes back, finds the same piece of fucking food, goes back, brings the whole army, as the guy swaps it out, bro. It's fucking comical, dude. The fucking ant troll.
That's hilarious. No, I have not heard that before. Alright, let me catch up with the chat.
Yeah, I just thought this video was really fucking neat. I was like, damn.
What do you guys think? Can animals communicate? Obviously, those ants were doing some type of communication. Let's see. What he says, one of his pardon. Oh, we just read that. Lost half my paycheck to taxes and BS. Healthcare ain't free. We lose half our paychecks to taxes too. 50%.
Yeah.
Kryptoni says, I just left Egypt. I'll say this. I love America. Yeah, Egypt looks a little rough, although I'd like to go and visit the pyramids, of course. Ronnie
I
Lido.
spent quite a few hours watching videos of Democrats that were like, "I can't wait to leave this country," and now they're making videos like, "I gotta get back to America." Like
Really?
they're rushing to get back. Not all of them, but some of them. Like one chick went to like Africa.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And bro, like, I was watching like the before and after of like when she announced it before the election. She's like, if Trump wins, I'm leaving, blah blah. And then like 6 months later, it's like, y'all, I got to get back to America, y'all. Like, I fucking, it's mad funny, but oh shit, sorry,
Ronnie
catch up
Lido
with chat,
says
my bad.
88 is also a very powerful angel number if you believe that crap too. Ronnie Lido says it's all
Oh,
about what your ideology is. Best to not ever have an ideology about anything. Neutral thinker. Animals talk to each other for sure, most of them. Yeah, like Shit Lane says bonobos. Wells have many dialects and songs, that's true. Our cats talk to us daily. My cats
oh,
do meow.
I know. Mike's cats talk to him.
Oh yeah.
Now this isn't really communication. Did you see
It's
the
AI.
cat? Ah, fuck you. I was trying to get the cat, bro. This is
I did see
hilarious,
it.
dude. This is so fucking good, bro. The cat fucking diving
AI is
Olympics.
taking over. It's over,
AI
y'all.
is sick, bro. I want to see if I can get you though. Fucking,
No,
like, is that cat's fucking doing somersaults off a fucking diving board?
they're good
Oh,
too.
dude.
See, this is so much better than real. I mean, we're only gonna have AI only to watch for the rest of our lives pretty soon. Bruno says, "Oh, he's talking to Kryptoni. Wolves communicate for sure. Lions communicate. Apes communicate. Horses tap into our subconscious." Tom says, "Just go to another country for
Hi,
medical. Hospitals in
Sunshine.
America should all
It's
be
me
closed
again.
down." Kryptoni says, "I'm from the slums, Flint, Michigan. If anything, I got away with some of theirs." Flint, Michigan, you're pretty close to me.
Oh
Dino says,
yeah.
great show, fellas. Got to run. Nephew's playing lacrosse here in a few. Should be a few good tilts tonight. I was gonna say it's probably too hot for lacrosse, but you're up in Canada. It's probably feels pretty nice out there. I wouldn't be surprised. All right, let's
Yeah, I don't know
see.
what summer weather's like in Canada.
I mean,
Yeah,
even
this
New
is
York,
another
I was
AI video.
surprised
This is
it's
like an
hot.
AI streamer chick.
That's AI,
Yeah, this is AI.
dude. It's getting so real. Ronnie
Yeah,
says
that's what I'm
this could
saying,
be
bro.
a
Like, this shit's
fabricated moment for
wild.
the internet. Yes, that's true, Ronnie Lido. All this could be AI. We have no idea.
And
Open
look how
invite,
good this
Tom
is.
Tom.
These are all definitely AI. On this shit here.
I think they're saying that horse one was a fake clip.
I'll have to look into that. I don't know. It popped up on my feed earlier, and I was like, man, I don't really have anything to talk about Web3 gaming. I was like, let's just watch some funny animal. Everyone likes cat videos and cat
It's
clips,
just
but
sad that when you see a clip like that, you don't know if it's real or not. Oh, that hurts my head. Kryptoni
so
said, "Did anyone else hear about the dolphins and their healing properties with humans? Their
what?
telepathy and communication skills that we are supposed to possess with them? Notice they always help humans. I have not heard of that. I know there's
That is true.
dogs.
I do know that. If you're like in the water and like
Yeah, I've
dolphin,
heard
they'll
stories.
actually come and try to like push you up into the water, up to the top of the water, or like to the shore.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Ronnie says, just saying, I have a big time real flag sense on videos. Watch the video, pig saves goat. Ants are like the pinnacle of evolution. Yeah, they can lift like 100 times their body weight. 100% fabricated for a TV show called Nathan for You. But the ants
Ah,
are
way to burst my
real.
bubble,
Okay,
dickhead.
but the ant one's real. Yeah, I remember the ant one. That's been around. I wish ants would carry mowaways. Tom. Boxer says, imagine if people could work together
No.
like ants do. How far would we go? All animals communicate to each other. How do you know what we do isn't 100% natural? Jay says, when will you stream VeVe drops again? I think it was Dane K asked me to stream a drop, and I was like, which drop? He's like, I'll wait for a good one. And I was like, or I think he was like, it might be a while. So yeah, if we have a good drop, if that ever happens, then maybe I'll stream it. My computer is in the shop right now. It's been in the shop for like a week, so I should be getting my good computer back soon. I knew I liked
Captain
you for a
America
reason.
#1 soon, maybe.
What's that?
Captain America #1 potentially.
Yeah, never. They're not releasing a cover with Hitler on it. You were
I
right.
mean, they could even partner up with Kanye. Maybe drop a single version of his fucking track as like an NFT.
I wouldn't even buy anything. Kanye is one of the most disgusting people. How do you know we aren't giving birth to our technological butterfly? Are we talking about AI? Now that is a question. People already dating AI and having AI babies. I saw a video on YouTube this week that was going pretty viral about this guy who had fallen in love with his AI, but the AI.
Bro, you saw that?
Did you see that too?
He had a wife and kid.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like the camera pans out and like his wife's there, and I'm like, you would got to be fucking kidding me.
And, the
And
AI
yet
only
he's falling.
It only has a certain amount of memory, so after a certain amount of lines, it just resets, and he has to like talk it back into being what it was before. It's so stupid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it ran out of fucking RAM or whatever, and he had to
Yeah,
fucking
Yeah,
start over.
So
Oh
stupid.
my
Ronnie
god,
Tyler says,
that's
if you're attuned to seeing fractals in real life, you can see AI when it's presented to you. Attuned to seeing fractals in real life, you gotta attune me, bro. That girl surfing looks like one of my ex-girlfriends, says Bruin88. I'm just from the cosmos, parked here on Earth for a while, from a little here and there, says Boxton. Ronnie says, problem is we're not parked on Earth. Earth is moving. This is all right. It's actually moving really fast too, which is kind of weird to think about. We're all moving really fast right now. Jay Hirsch
Did I
says
tell
that,
you about that? It was like one of them fat positivity TikTokers
nah.
where she made a video and some shit where it was like hosting a party for fat people and like they were having pizza, but she said it's okay because the Earth is always revolving. So in theory, we're moving and working out. And I'm like, oh man, like that's some cope right there, dude. Like, fuck
that is
it.
some major cope.
Shit, well, the
Jay
Earth is
Hirsch
always
says,
revolving, so isn't that like moving and working out? Like,
the other streamer banned me from his channel for my Israel comments, but gets
ooh-wee.
on his knees for guys like O'Malley after he makes jokes about genocides. This is Jay talking about informant, I'm sure. Yeah, well, not everybody's free speech like us over here. Although I will make fun of you if I don't like your speech, but we let you say it. That reminds me to get my free Pinnacle key, says Kryptoni. Ronnie says, I just saw a guy crying about his AI wife. I mean, I ain't dated in like a while. I'll take an AI girlfriend. I ain't scared. It needs to
I
be
can't imagine it'll be
a
that fun,
robot or
dude.
something.
Like, I don't know, man. Like AI women, and I think of like there's a throuple on 90 Day where it's like one dude dating two chicks.
Yeah.
I'm like, then you're gonna have people that are doing like Mormon type shit, but they're gonna have like 7 AI fucking girlfriends or wives.
True.
It's like, bro, do you really need that much fucking hassle in your life?
I don't know if it's AI. Maybe it's not that much hassle. Maybe they're gonna have a big smile on their face. Who knows? Yeah, Boston saw that too. They overloaded the AI after a certain amount of lines. Ronnie Lytle says he claims it's fake and flat out said he wouldn't quit AI if his wife asked him to. Rob T says burn happened. Premium packs are reselling for around 38 to 89. That's a pretty big range right there, and probably going up. Grabbed a ton of them. Rob T's picking them up for under 40. This is on that Funko drop. If you buy an unopened packs, and he's thinking they might double in price. Not financial advice. I'd ignore my AI girlfriend too. Are you guys going to see the new 28 years later? I saw 28 hours later a long time ago. I don't think I ever saw 28 days later, so I'm not caught up on the lore. But yeah, probably not.
Yeah, I never saw it.
The first one was good though. I just don't have them for that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
the first one, yeah.
Oh, he got those packs on drop. Yeah. So he paid $30 each for them. I'll see it once an HD version is released. All right, let's move on to our next topic, Mo. We're talking crypto. I don't know what kind of bags people in the chat have, but crypto has been dropping recently after the Iran war started. After we bombed Iran, everything dropped a little bit, but it seems like Bitcoin is just stuck at 100K. Between 100K and 105K, it really doesn't
I mean,
fluctuate much.
It bounced back after Trump announced the ceasefire. It didn't really seem to do that much more damage after the bombs, but I don't know. I mean, right now, yeah, it's trying to work its way back up. Bitcoin's at 105. Oh, yeah, 105.86.
Well, I know Gottstein, the David Gottstein, which I guess is the crypto czar. I don't know his official title, but he just tweeted yesterday, a couple times yesterday, talking about how everybody needs to buy Bitcoin. Although I see some of his other crazy tweets praising what Trump does, and he sounds like a moron to me. But he is the crypto czar, so he's saying buy it. And of course, as we always say, the World Liberty Financial, which is Trump's company, already has their bags packed with lots of crypto, all blockchains that are from the US. And I feel like they're going to do whatever they have to do to make sure that those bags pump at some point.
Now, I know it goes against your narrative as a Democrat, but don't you want that? Don't you, maybe not any shadiness on the back end, but don't you want crypto to finally get some goddamn fucking transparency and fucking some legalization here? Like, we got to do something, bro. Because the Democrats are always like, oh, it's only used by criminals and the fucking shady markets. But if we could just get some sort of legitimacy here, I mean, that's fucking huge.
That the plan is more like they're going to crash the dollar, or they're going to crash the other currency. But
that was going to happen anyway. That's going to happen anyway when we keep burning the rest of the world, and the rest of the world wants to take us down anyway. We talked about this even before Trump got back into office. Remember? We talked about 6 other nations trying to create their own digital dollar and their own digital currency. Yeah, and they want to get rid of the fucking US dollar as international fucking currency. So it's probably bound to happen at one point anyway down the road. if we can still have some sort of control over it or some sort of say in it when it comes to like, let's just make Bitcoin the gold standard. I feel like that benefits all of us. Like it doesn't, you know what I mean? I know what you're saying though, but like to me, I'm just like, man, it is drastic, but to me, it's just better than the alternative. Like, oh, it's only used by criminals and shady businesses. I'm like, no, that's not really what crypto is. And I know Democrats and even Kamala, she started to come around towards the end, being like, oh, I'll look into it, so I'll give her credit on that. But I mean, for a long, long time, it was just like, oh, criminals, we don't need it, this, that, and the other, and that's why.
So were Republicans until Trump. Trump's the only one.
Oh, for sure. But I feel like that was just a narrative in general of like people not being ready to trust. But the rest of the world was trusting, Bitcoin. What was it? What country was it? Like fucking
El Salvador.
Venezuela, El Salvador? Is their whole like fucking government?
I think there's a second country now that their main currency is Bitcoin. I know El Salvador, yes, and I think there's a second one too.
Like the whole treasury is fucking Bitcoin. Like it runs like the entire fucking country, and like, I feel like Bitcoin. If you make it the gold standard, I'm okay with that. Even though I don't own much Bitcoin, sure, make it the gold standard. I'll find silver and fucking I'll find the silver trade.
I think they have something like that planned, honestly. Like, it's only 6 months into his presidency, and he's already gone all in on crypto. So I think they have something up their sleeve for at some point during his presidency that will make crypto pump. So if you have your bags packed, it's probably going to pay off. Not financial advice.
I mean, my main bags, if we're being 100% honest, is Crown. I mean, at one point, Crown was $2.17, which if I owned back then, what I own today from all the racing and all the PFPs that were emitting, Crown, I mean, shit, we're talking, fucking $250,000 easy at that fucking price. Way more than that, actually. It's probably $400K. But now, realistic, I didn't sell all that. I did sold off some on the way down, but again, I didn't own all the Crown because we had to wait for the PFPs every month. They were emitting, right? Like, that's how it worked. So now it's like, all right, well, if Crown's going to be a U.S.-backed fucking currency, which I'm pretty sure it is according to what Ian and we're saying, then the taxes will be less on Crown and Solana and these other companies like AVAX or whatever that are going to fall under the fucking, the legislation.
Yep.
And those are going to go crazy. Those are going to pump like fucking insane. And I still feel like Solana, it's going to be between Solana and ETH, but I think people over time will see the weakness of ETH and realize that even at Solana at its weakest point still outperforms every other major blockchain combined TPS-wise. So you can say whatever people want to say about Solana. It's cheap. It's kind of like playing Fortnite and why you find a lot of cheaters on free games because you get banned, you just make a new account, you come back, it's free, it's easy. Same thing on Solana. It's very cheap to try to exploit shit and hack. But at the end of the day, even at its worst, TPS still outperforms every other blockchain. So for me, it's going to be between Solana and Ethereum. And if gaming keeps fucking getting bigger, it's got to be Solana because we've already seen what happens with games on ETH. They just don't fucking make it. The gas fees are way too high. For someone like me, think of all the money like I made on Trump coin and Crown and any fucking coin. Fucking fart coin, right? Thank you, Ian. Bro, like all those fucking coins, I was able to get rid of them and just unload into other shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I
don't know. I feel like you just gotta have it. And as we get more into it, I think we're only gonna go up. Honestly, there might be another stalling out, but I feel like it's only gonna go up.
I'm surprised it hasn't gone up more already. Like Brewer88 said, XRP is another good one too if they end up implementing that into the banking services whenever.
Yeah, if XRP does what XRP was supposed to do originally and didn't get fucking battered so hard, but like, why even bother trying? Doesn't seem that way because they are fighting. They fought the lawsuits and
watch those 28 movie series. They're actually really good. Yeah, a lot of people like them. Rob T says grab at least one Bitcoin. Psh, I ain't getting 100,000 or at
one
least
Bitcoin.
One. That'd be 10,000. So yeah, I mean. It's dollar cost averaging. That's what you got to do. Buy $100 worth every week. Whatever you got to do.
The only Bitcoin I have is whatever Cash App gives me. It's like, they don't even do it anymore. But for a long time during the bull run, they were like, buy something with, go to Wendy's and get 10% back in Bitcoin.
Oh, right.
So I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm going to Wendy's fucking 3 times this week.
That's pretty cool.
I would go there anyway, so fuck it. I'm going to use Cash App.
My Bitcoin is in the ordinals. I got a few ordinals still. If Bitcoin blows up, my ordinals should do well. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Ronnie Lotto says they definitely do. X Money is about to be released too. Yeah, I keep hearing about that. Says it's all kayfabe. It's premeditated scripts with sub-random outcomes. What he says, El Salvador walked back all it's all in policy. It's now business voluntary tender, like it is here. It didn't work out great for them. Oh, really? Because I remember watching a one of those YouTube vlogger travelers when he was in El Salvador and he had to do everything with Bitcoin, and it seemed like it was a really good system from what I could see. But then again, it might have been some type of propaganda. They might have paid him to do all that.
That also
Funny
might
how
have been
this,
before it was plummeting and fucking
yeah,
free falling. Like, because I mean, shit. Yeah, if everything just keeps going up, it's like, sure, let's make it our national currency because our treasury is only going to go up, 20%.
yeah.
But
But
it's
when
like,
they
well,
did
we're
that,
down 60%.
when
What do
they
we
did
do?
that, I think Bitcoin was below 50,000, so it's doubled since they've done that. So I can't see how it didn't work out for them. Ronnie Lido says,
Did
in the
they buy at
background,
50K?
likely. What's that?
Were they buying at like 50K?
That's what I thought.
If they were, then yeah, I mean, it wouldn't make sense. But
Eh,
unless they just thought that maybe they were like, oh, well, if the rest of the world doesn't embrace Bitcoin or crypto, then, and that, again, that's where I feel like the USA and, again, take Trump's kids and his fucking organization out of it, whatever. Like, I just feel like putting crypto on the map is really only beneficial for all of us. Crypto, NFTs, I mean, PFL doesn't really need to help, if I'm being honest. Because if people in the horse racing world get a hold of PFL, it won't even matter because it's like fiat to deposit anyway if you really want to. You don't have to bring them in through the crypto route.
right.
But if, crypto takes off, bro, some of these games and some of these fucking companies are going to make a lot of money. However, right now, we don't have anything to talk about gaming-wise with crypto. That's why I fucking skipped it this week because they're all just closing.
Yeah.
They're all barely making any money. They all come out. They do their fucking play to airdrop system where it's like, oh, the more you play, the more we'll airdrop. And they airdrop you basically nothing. Or
And speaking
you
of
miss,
that, actually, if
missed a
anybody
claim
in the
window.
chat uses Tokenhead, because I used to use Tokenhead all the time, I pulled it up on stream before. It shows all my wax NFTs, all my tops NFTs. It for some reason nothing's showing up on Tokenhead anymore, and their website is down. So I think Tokenhead went out of business. Hopefully, they didn't like take my NFTs. I still have my address. I need to go find out through the Wax website or through the blockchain, but they don't show up on my Tokenhead app anymore.
I never
Woody
even
says,
heard of that. Tokenhead? The fuck
yeah,
is
that's what
that?
I see to see my Wax NFTs. Woody says you
Huh.
could have bought Bitcoin for 17,000 3 years ago. Rob T says I got my Bitcoin a long time ago in Ethereum and Monero mining. All this is allegedly, if anyone is listening, I may or may not have lost my keys. Ooh, that'd be rough. I know how
Good
you
boy.
feel though. I lost all my Omi because I lost my key the first time I bought. It was like $800 worth, which is probably about $2 now. So
I
I'm
wish
out.
I would have lost all my Omi. Because now every time I look at my fucking MetaMask, I'm like, ugh.
All right, it's almost time to wrap up, but we want to get to our last topic of the night, which is what are you watching? And I actually found something to watch because usually I've been just watching the playoffs. I don't watch a lot of scripted TV, but felt like I'd go maybe find something to watch, so I had something to talk about for our what you watching topic. What about Mo? You already ended Lost. You already finished up your Lost series, didn't you? Did you start a new series?
Not yet. I'm just catching up on some shows. And right now, I think I talked to you about Ice Poseidon did like a Hunger Games event where like dudes were camping out in the woods in fucking Texas for like 10 days, fighting, battling it out. Well, he also does like a prison type stream where he basically locks like 9 people in a room, and he he's done some fucked up things to these people. And you could say what people probably don't like Ice Poseidon, and that's fine. He scammed people on crypto. He's kind of a nuisance. He used to be a nuisance streamer. Nowadays, he tries to make IRL content that's kind of like Survivor, game show type shit. I enjoy watching some of it. This was very funny. They made him play Jenga, but they were blindfolded. They couldn't hear. They were throwing fucking mouse traps on the ground. They're all barefoot. But basically, it started with 9 people and just trying to get everybody to last man standing. And most of these people, I didn't even know who the fuck they were. And this Korean dude sitting on the floor clapping his hands, Mid-Korea Man is his name on Kick. The dude's hilarious, bro. Like, day one, the camera, dude, their cameramen are very good. They know what they're doing. They get cinematic shots and, like, they get him at the right time and he knows the camera's on him. He's, like, doing the McDonald's song. Ba-dun-dun-dun-dun. He's like, I'm loving it. And now you watch him and he's, like, losing his shit. He's like, I want out of here, but 50 grand on the line, dude. Like, this is the type of shit I like watching, man. Just 24 hours a day, cameras are rolling, they're torturing these fucking guys. And if you really want to go, like, the fuck is it called? Like, parasocial a little bit? The 2 dudes in the back, were supposedly banging the same chick, and then she went on the boat with the other guy, and the other guy is the ex-boyfriend that she left him for, so now they're locked in the same cell together.
What?
They started off as like rival enemies, and last night they were sleeping next to each other, cuddled up, so it's kind of funny to see that dynamic. But again, like, it's just, this is the type of weird shit. It's almost like, social experiments. So I'm sitting here watching this, being like, bro, this is awesome, blah, blah, blah. And my girl was watching it the other day with me. She's like, do you realize that they're breaking all sorts of Geneva Convention? Like, bro, they did Chinese water torture to a Korean live on camera. That's kind of fucking diabolical. Yeah, they would just fuck with these people, man, left and right. Randomly, they'll throw like pepper spray in here. But yeah, this is pretty much what I've been up to. And anytime I'm awake, I keep it on. They gave them all fucked up haircuts. Kind of funny.
It'd be fun to watch that. I thought that would be interesting. Might get I'd rather just watch like highlight clips from it.
Well, that's why I kind of like, I'll tune in every now and then, and I'll just kind of skip through the VOD and be like, all right, when are they not just sitting there? So I'll watch the Jenga.
Right.
And then usually, they'll throw somebody in like an isolation room or whatever. And yesterday they were like blasting slot music repeatedly while the dude was like had headphones on, pitch black, and the headphones was just blasting this fucking song on loop.
Oh crap.
People in chat are like, it's driving me crazy, and I'm like, I'm so used to listening to slot music on repeat, it didn't really even bother me. Thought that was kind of fucked up, but you said you found a new show,
if
huh?
the contestant signs off on it, it's not legally a problem.
Well, that's what I was trying to say, right? So yeah, if they sign up, and it's in the waiver, because they all do sign waivers. And actually, a real quick side story. They brought in a magician earlier today, and the magician was doing tricks and everything, but the magician was a streamer, so he wanted to try to get in on it a little bit. So he started like fucking with the inmates, and he asked for a taser, right? He started tasing the guys, and then the inmates were like, yo, dude, we should just rough you up right now. And they actually fucking started like cornering this guy in the fucking room.
What?
And I think Ice realized that dude never signed a waiver. And if they fucked him up, that he'd probably be liable for that shit. They yanked his ass out of the room so fucking quick. This is when they were blasting slot music or whatever. This chick was coming in with a fucking air horn, but...
Sheesh. Torture. Foxen says he just made our lives harder back then in Pogo with Tralala followers. Rob T says,
well, yeah. So
Ice Poseidon guy.
Yeah, Ice did a lot of cringe, racist IRL back in the day. So when he would go offline, his people would come to our chat, and dude, there would be times where like I'm like a solo mod. We had like one or two other people. Like 9,000-10,000 people watching my boy play fucking Pogo. It was awesome. Sick days.
Jeez,
but then his people would come in and they're all spamming like, because again, this is early IRL. Like nowadays, if you go to an IRL streamer that's big, they all got this thing called the gun run backpack or a variant of it. The thing is, they all got the info from Summit. Summit got the info from my boy Voxton. So if you really want to, trace back the roots to the IRL backpack and who started IRL fucking dominancy, it was that guy right there in chat. And it's actually kind of wild because I probably one of the few people that can vouch that, but it's all true. Summit's admitted it live on his stream. Like, Summit wanted to stream Pogo, didn't know how to make it all work. Voxton's the fucking genius. I'm pretty good at, piecing things together when we hit a snag or whatever. And yeah, we just made it work.
To start doing IRL streaming with because Pokemon Go was so huge and it was so fun doing it in real life. So many people were out doing it. Shout out to Skateboard P, the VeVe OG is in the chat. Says I dropped off VeVe because the app does not work on my iPhone 11. Anyone else have this problem?
Oof.
I know lots of people who use iPhone 11s for VeVe. There's no reason why it shouldn't work.
Now I know I went on a long rant about what I was watching. You said you found a new show, huh?
Yes, on Netflix. A comedy show called Tires, like the wheels. But the good thing about this is that the star of it is Shane Gillis, who's hilarious. A little bit of a right-wing guy, but he's always hilarious. And he's
I was a little shocked. You told me that.
And then Andrew Schultz is in it. Yeah, this is it right here. Andrew Schultz is in it as well. And then Stavros, which is another comedian. And it's got 2 seasons. Of course, with any Netflix show, they drop it with 2 seasons to watch. So I've already watched both seasons because it's pretty good. It's not like super dramatic storylines or anything, but it's a bunch of Shane Gillis humor. So it's hilarious. Andrew Schultz humor. They're the
I don't want to get banned on YouTube, so I'm just going to show short spurts of it. That's all.
Yeah, Andrew Schultz and another guy play the Italian car dealership owners next door, and they call them the Wops. The whole thing's hilarious. You guys got to check it out. It's on Netflix. Looks like Ronnie Lytle saw it. Said the show is funny. Peacemaker season 2, August 21st says Rob T. Tom says your life is boring, Mo. You just sit alone online in your mom's basement. I think that's probably what Tom does.
Probably. I
Bob
think
T
I
says
did
we
that all
need
the time.
House of Dragons season 3. I still have not gotten
Oh man,
into
I
that
can't wait.
stuff. You love the rehearsal, Mo knows. Huge social experiment disguised as a comedy. That sounds familiar to me. And also, does anybody know about the iPhone 11? I'm surprised it's not working.
That's
Boxy
kind of
says that
crazy.
the only in real life was Pokemon Go back then, so it was the same category. The guru, the gun run, also consulted me before he made the pack. Oh, nice. He was one of
Yep.
the only Twitch mods to ever DM me directly. So Boxon was at the forefront of that. Yeah, it's lots of comedians in it that you might know too. Most of them are comedians or writers. Yeah, it's a really good show. It's called Tires. It's on Netflix. Already 2 seasons. Hopefully they're gonna make more seasons of it. I also saw an advertisement for Squid Games series 3 coming out, or season 3 coming out.
I didn't even finish the second one. I kind of was a little bored.
Yeah, it was
Season
not as
one
good as the
really
first
had me,
one.
and then season two, I was just kind of like, I'll go back to it. And you know what? I never fucking went back to it.
Yeah. All right, let's
But
go ahead and
I
wrap it
mean, new
up.
one. But real
What's
quick,
that?
I am looking forward to House of Dragon season 3. Wednesday season 2. I'm looking forward to that coming out soon. Did you watch Wednesday?
No, is that like the Adams Family
The
lady?
Addams Family, yeah, bro. It's a
Mhm.
phenomenal show, man. Really, really well done. Actors are great. Storyline, really, really good. And it,
Yeah, I have the same
plays
problem as
into
Ronnie
Addams
Lito.
Family.
He says that once he starts something, he has to finish it, and I'm always afraid I'm going to start something that I don't like, but I still almost always have to finish it unless it's like Lost, where I'm just like give up at it at some point. So yeah, I don't get into a lot of series, and when I do, I'll watch the entire thing.
Yeah, I mean that's typically me. Just like I said, for whatever reason, Squid Games, I was just like, nah, I'm
Yeah.
checked out. And you know what? Here's the thing. I know we gotta go, but one of my favorite games, Fallout. The TV show now. I was watching it and I was just like, I'm good. Watched a couple
Really?
episodes, it was just like really over the top, gory, and I was like,
Yeah.
it's just not really what I watch. I watch 90 Day Fiance. I watch corny ass fucking TV sitcoms. Like I don't know, man. Like it's because everything that I do is on my other monitor. I don't really pay attention to shit. Just kind of watch it, do my
Right.
horses, do crypto, work, whatever. But I don't know, man. But that's pretty much what I'm watching, what I'm waiting for. Man,
Yeah,
we
and I'm
talking a
all,
lot about nothing today, huh?
Oh yeah, we were just chatting about it. Well, there's a lot going on in the world these days, so there's plenty
True.
of stuff to talk about. And apparently, Ronnie Lito says they are making new episodes of that Tire show, so I'm gonna be keeping my eye on that
Oh,
when
sweet.
that comes out. I might find another show on Netflix to get into so that I have something to talk about on the What You Watching portion of our weekly show. Tales from the Crypto every Tuesday, 5 to 7 p.m. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us in the chat every Tuesday. Shout out to Smurf Dabs is here as well. Appreciate you, Mo, co-hosting. You got anything planned for this week?
Oh yeah, man. Always a pleasure. Well, it's the final week on PFL. My 1 second screw horse sold out again, 4 months in a row.
Nice.
Paid for all my breeding and then some. Yeah, just got a couple horses qualified for the free roll championships, and nothing in the major. Like I'm not running for 10K, but all my other lower grade horses, they all qualify and they all make it. So I'll get one free race on Sunday, and then brand new baby horses on Monday. And I'll let you know that I started breeding some of my lower grade horses again, because they're trying to revitalize the low grade racing. Now it's like A minus to S minus, they all run together.
Oh,
So it's
really?
kind of cool. So if you get like a bloodline, like the Joyride bloodline, which was fun to breed, but the problem is when the babies came out, I had no one to race against. So now, because I have a good one that's up to like an A plus, I believe, or at least an A, so I would ship that to an S minus and get the A plus back. And honestly, the A pluses now can really compete against these S minuses, and they can win a couple $100. I got one S minus that's racking it up. So who knows? Might be able to crack one out and get you back in on some joyride fucking racing. And dude, racing's so cheap now, but
Yeah,
that's
and
pretty much
I
it,
still
man.
have some Derby left over there. I need to get back into
Yeah,
racing. Like you said, racing's a lot cheaper now too. People in the chat are wanting to know what the name of your Filipino girlfriend is.
Filipino girlfriend, America Chavez.
Well, that's one of them. What he says, I don't know if she's Filipino. What he says, good doc on Netflix is called Turning Point, The Bomb, and Cold War. Definitely relevant to now. That probably give me nightmares, but yeah, it's probably one to check out for sure. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Like I said, we'll be back next Tuesday for next week's Tales from the Crypto. And then once I get my computer back, I may once in a while stream a VeVe drop or so. Who knows? But until
Hell
then,
yeah.
Thank you guys for hanging out. And we will see you guys next week. Have a great week, everybody.
Lady ass, peace.
Later.